wife, but let me tell you something. Being a wife is making sure you have the soap powder. Being the wife is making sure you might throw those clothes in the washing machine. Being a wife is not coming to pick up your drawers after you. That is not.
Who said you had to pick up the drawers? That's what said y'all want to go do it. This is my point here with that. We always act like that's such a big thing. Like, especially for the women. Wait a minute. Especially for the women that got kids. Y'all should be cleaning the house anyway. Y'all should be cooking anyway. So you cook.
Great catch. I'm a great wife. I'm a great this. And it's like that hasn't been validated.
All these single girls of yours too. I don't know.
The one thing that I'm seeing is that when you're dealing with a grown ass man,
there it is.
He has a vision and a purpose for his life.
Facts. What he wants in the future.
And what I see is that a lot of these modern women don't want to fall into and play their part in that purpose and in that vision because they have their own purpose and their own vision. I think a lot of women get it confused. Not your responsibility to motivate a man.
Right.
A man should have his own motivation, his own direction. Your job is to inspire. It's a complete difference. I think a lot of ladies get a man.
What's good, everybody? Welcome back to Kandid Konvos. I'm your host, Quay Price. We got Chloe on deck. Say what's up to the people, Chloe.
Hey, everybody. Happy Wednesday.
On time. Happy Wednesday. Shout out to everybody joining us tonight. Shout out to YouTube and Facebook in the building. Definitely hit that like button for us. Hit that like button and also hit that share as well. Likes and shares are free, so definitely hit that so it helps out the channel. Helps us get to more of our people for these great conversations and great topics that we discuss on Kandid Konvos. All right, also drop a comment, let us know where you're checking in from and so forth. Appreciate you guys as always holding us down every Wednesday night. All right, so let me do this real quick while I'm thinking about it. Okay, here's the link to join us on the panel. You can drop this in your Google Chrome, your Microsoft Edge, on your Apple device. If you come into Apple device, you have to use Safari, so just keep that in mind. But drop this in your browser, join us on the panel. You do have the ability to cut your camera off if you choose, but we always encourage you to keep your camera on for better show, better engagement. And I said it just, saves you a little time typing them long comments in there. Yep. In addition, we have this link in both of the chat feeds, so you can catch it at the Kandid Konvos page on Facebook or YouTube, or you can shoot me a message and I'll send it to you directly. But we'll leave this up here on the screen for a little bit as we get into the conversation. So we got some comments coming in. Let's see. Shout out to Kenyatta in the building. She said, "Hey everyone, happy Wednesday. What's going on with you, sis? Appreciate you holding us down. Happy Wednesday." All right. Man, I don't know, Chloe. We're just supposed to have a couple folks supposed to be on here. Wait, where Miss Middleton at? Hold on. Miss Middleton. I don't know if you watch it right now. You're supposed to be up on this panel.
We're gonna have to throw that countdown back on till she show up. She's trying to hold up the show.
Let me see what's gonna happen. We're gonna see how it go. Let me see Vince in the building. He said, hey, y'all running a little late. I would try to jump on. No doubt, man. No doubt. Appreciate you, brother. You know you got to handle your biz. We got Donovan in the building. He said, what up, though? Let me do this real quick since Donovan checking in. Happy birthday to Donovan in the building. It's one of our heavy supporters of Kandid Konvos. He's been holding us down for a minute. Every Wednesday he's here holding us down. So appreciate you, brother, and happy birthday to you, man.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, my guy Donovan. See, Vince said, happy birthday, bro. Appreciate that. That was for you, Donovan. He said, yes, thank you. No doubt, man. Happy birthday to you, man. All right, cool. I think that's all the comments. I said, anybody watching us right now? I see we got a chunk of folks, YouTube and Facebook in the building right now. So yeah, drop a comment. Let us know you're here. Let us know where you represent from. Well, I don't know where Miss Middleton is at.
She's gonna have to catch up.
Miss Middleton. I said, I don't know if you're watching right now. You're supposed to be up on this panel. You got one of your topics lined up. All right. So I don't know. I guess we got to go and get on into this, I guess.
Let's get into it.
All right. So let me drop this link down. Let me know if anybody needs the link. I will get that to you. All right. So topic for tonight. Are you worth marriage? Run that back. Topic for the night. Are you worth a marriage? Okay, let's see. Eva Wright in the building. She said, hey, everyone. What's going on, Eva Wright? Appreciate you checking in with us. All right. So we got a couple videos, but we got one that was sent. I don't know. Should I try to flip up the order? What you think? What you think, Chloe? Should I flip the order or should I just go and get on to the video tonight?
Look, we're gonna get to the bottom of this regardless. So it doesn't matter what order you go in. We're gonna get to the bottom of it.
Okay. All right. You know what? I'm going to the video tonight then. All right. So let's get on into this conversation.
Reason. So what would a man gain by marrying you versus being in a relationship with you?
Me specifically? I don't know, because again,
I'll answer the question for him. Nothing. You said I don't know.
No, I don't know.
Oh, now you know.
Because it depends.
I can tell you
it depends on the man that I marry. I'm not the same woman for every man that I'm with. So if he is in turn becoming my husband, there are things that my husband can get from me that somebody in a relationship cannot get from me.
You're diverting.
So, no,
You're not answering the question.
Listen.
I'll break it down for you. Let me answer the question. If I marry you today, ma'am, guess what? You're going to be financially stable. If I marry you today, ma'am, your kids are going to have access to private schools. If I marry you today, ma'am, your credit score will go up because you ain't got to have to pay bills. If I marry you today, ma'am, the type of network that I would have you around is far supersedes than what you're used to. I can run down what you're going to get by marrying me. Ma'am, I ask you the same question. What does a man get if he marry you? No, you're diverting.
Doing it. So
what's
it depends on if I marry somebody that's equal. We on a financially equal playing field.
What do you bring to the table?
What do you mean?
That's what I'm asking.
I bring me.
You can't make this shit up.
You want people.
You can't make this shit up.
Okay. Man, topic for tonight. Are you worth marriage? All right, shout out to, I think that's the Ugly Money podcast is what it's called. Definitely check them out on YouTube, Facebook as well. I said they have some interesting conversations. I said, and the gentleman who runs that podcast, he's he interesting, as you guys can see. But he dropped some good questions here and there. So yeah, I want to get into this conversation. That video was, well, actually, I was tagged in that video. And like I said, I've seen some of his content before, but yeah, I was tagged in that video. So I say, hey, as y'all know on Kandid Konvos, we run from no conversations. So here we are. So yeah, a couple things that I saw in that video. Anybody down in the comments, drop a comment. Let me know what you thought about the video. What did you see? What was good? What was bad? Yeah, drop a comment. Let me know. All right, let's see. Donovan Crawford. He said, "I love this guy. Always debunking the foolishness." Yeah, no, he dude is interesting. He goes in, man. I'll give him that. But he's definitely an entertainer. Yeah, he's definitely an entertainer. All right. I don't know, Chloe, what you thinking? You something touch you, or you how you want to get this? Are you what you thinking?
I mean, it's bad because I don't know if women understand how bad we looking out here. I mean, y'all got us looking horrible out here. And no, I mean, the man didn't ask an unreasonable question. He really didn't. He basically publicly asked the question that every man who decides to marry a woman has to ask himself. Like, why? Basically, why? Why would I marry her? Why am I marrying her? Okay, I know I love her. That's great. Love is important. But why? And for you as a woman to not be able to explain your value, like I said, women, we not out here presenting ourselves like our value is innate anymore, right? So a man can't just look at us and say, oh, I can tell she's valuable because of this. Because what we now value in this society as women is so very different than what used to be our value. So a man asking it is honest. It's an honest question. And as a woman, you should be able to answer it. You should know what's valuable about you. You can't just keep saying me. He's asking you, dig deeper, sis. If this was an interview, a job interview, you'd be able to run down all of your qualifications. But here, a man is standing before you, interested in you, and you can't even explain how you're valuable as a person. Let me guess, you're going to say something about your education or your money. And as a woman, if you are leading with your education and your money, what else? Like, I'm not saying that you shouldn't be proud of what you've been able to achieve. I'm not saying you shouldn't be proud of your education. Nobody is trying to take that away from you. But also as a woman, what is valuable in the sense of what can you bring to the relationship? Not what you provide societal wise. Those things are great. They're icing on the cake. But what is that man getting from you? What can he expect to receive from you? I think it's a fair question for a man to ask. And as a woman, you should be asking the same thing. So I guess I don't understand why women get so upset and so bothered by this. Like, you should want to know what this man is bringing. Like, why should you give him your time and energy? And he's going to ask the same thing. I get this. To me, we really overcomplicating this, and we're getting real offended out here as women by this question when it's an honest, legitimate question. And I guess for me, my question to anyone who does get offended by it is why? Why don't you think you should have to explain your value when look at women in general out here nowadays? That's why men are asking.
Right. That's real. That's real. Let me check in with the kid. The kid, you with us right now?
Peace, y'all. I am here. I'm getting settled in, so.
Okay, take a minute. I know this your video right here. So if you need a minute, go ahead and take a minute.
Right. I thought I was gonna have notes and everything. Vent's on camera now. I'm just kidding. It's good to see you again, Vince and Miss Chloe. Good to see you.
Hey, girl. Hey.
Yeah. So I'll sit behind the mic for a minute, but yeah, I'm here for the conversation.
Okay. All right. Cool. You want to say something, Vince? You got to mute yourself, man. You still muted.
Hey, Miss Nadia, Happy New Year.
No, that's Nakia. That's Nakia.
Oh, Nakia, I'm sorry. I'm old. Let me get
I
close
see you
to
got
the
the
screen.
bifocals on.
Nakia, I'm sorry. I gotta wipe my glasses off. Y'all know I'm old. Oh my God. I'm sorry.
No, it's good. But all right, cool. Let's see. So yeah, I want to say this. Let me I'm gonna run some of the comments in a minute too, but I just want to say this real quick. So just regarding the video, I know my man is an entertainer, right? But this is a serious question, right? And he's asking the young lady essentially, what does she bring to the table? And she couldn't answer it. Yeah, literally the first stuff that came out of her mouth was, I don't know. And I think right there, that is the biggest concern. Mm-hmm. Yep, in 2023, with what we have going on out here today. So we've got, business women, business owners. We got degrees in play. We've got education levels higher than they've ever been. We've got the acquisition of finances, as high as they've ever been. We have all of these monumental, if you will, achievements. But yet a man asking you to articulate that, and your first response is, I don't know. Yeah, but that's concerning to me. Because at the end of the day, we're talking about relationships. We're talking about two people blending themselves together to essentially, hopefully, become one at the end of the day. Yep, and if we can't articulate what value we bring to that other person verbally, then that's a problem. So that was the first thing for me. The second thing that I noticed that definitely was concerning was the young lady said that she was different for every man. Yeah, and I saw this comment drop. I want to say Kenyatta dropped it and Vince, you dropped it as well. Different for every man. And when I hear something like that, that's concerning to say the least. Yep, and what I mean by that is that may be partially why she couldn't articulate what value she brings to the situation. Yep, at the end of the day, we're supposed to be the same for everybody. Yep, and what I mean by that is if I'm going to be if I'm moving as a masculine man and I'm about my business and taking care of my business and such, then every woman that I choose to interact with on that level is going to get that. Yeah, let me just keep it a buck. Yep, she's gonna get that. I'm not gonna be a chameleon in. I'm not gonna be flipping switches. Like, I'm not gonna be doing none of that. Yep, Quay is Quay. You like it or you don't. And this is how I move. And if you don't align with that, so be it. Yeah, but I like to call the shucking and jiving and all of that. that's not gonna get you the type of man or woman that you're looking for. That's definitely not gonna get it. The other thing that I heard the young lady say that I got questions around, and she said a man that she is financially equal with. And my question to that would be, what does that mean? Yeah, what does that really mean? Financially equal with this man. Yeah, it's like, so that's another issue that I think we're running into. Yeah, we've adapted this mindset, and I'm gonna call it what it is. It's skewed. We've adapted this mindset that everything is gonna be equal, and it's not. Yep, if anything, we're supposed to be complementing and balancing. It ain't about no equality. It's not gonna be equal. Yep, there's no way that you're gonna be making 150,020 cents and he's gonna be making 150,020 cents. It ain't happening. Yeah, but we keep trying to move in this equality mindset, and that doesn't get us anywhere because it's not meant to be equal. Yeah, men and women are not the same. Our roles are not the same. Our positions are not the same. Our value is not the same. Yep, how it's supposed to go is man bring your value, woman bring your value, put that together, and now we are valuable. That's what it's supposed to look like. So I'm gonna stop right there. Let me be quiet for a minute. Let me go to Vince on the key. Either one. I see you coming off mute, Vince. Go ahead, Vince.
Yeah, that really triggers something like you're different for every man. That means that you're like a chameleon. And I think a lot of the ladies don't know how to answer that, because they've never thought about it. Because the first thing you bring to most of these relationships is sex. It's not conversation. It's not talking about goals, talking about the future. It's usually sex. And so when you ask them, well, what do you bring to the table? Then also, most of us have not come from households where you had husbands and wives, just mama and daddy on the weekend, maybe. So we see our mothers as mother providers, but not wives. And it's something completely different. Like I would always say, my mother was a good mother, but I don't know how she would have been as a wife. You know what I'm saying? So, I think about that, and it's like the thing, and then it's also what your boy Kevin Samuels brought up. It's like, what do the men that you want? And they have no recollection of that, because finances should probably be 5 or 6 down the line. First, a man wants peace. He wants femininity. He wants somebody to inspire him. And if he wants a wife, he probably wants a nurturer. You're somebody that, if I buy the house, then you make it a home. He might want a motherly figure, someone who's going to be a good mother if they're not already a mother. I'm nurturing. I'm compassionate. I'm loving. Those are the things that men look for. I just bring myself to the table. And that usually means sex. And she's probably dealt with lesser men that she had to put together. You know what I'm saying? So it's just a different conversation when you're talking about the man that you want, not the man that you're used to dealing with.
No, that's real right there. And just to validate your point, Vince, I actually posted about that a little while ago. I made a post about that to the fellas just to see how they ranked, 1 through 10. And to your point, and I said, which I knew it was coming as well, education and her money was down at the bottom. Character traits, all of those other things were towards the top, but her education and her money was down at the bottom of the list. That was everybody's, essentially, they I guess that would be 7 through 10, down at the bottom. And I think, even, piggybacking on that point, Vince, I think that's also a part of the problem as well. I still think that there is a disconnect between men and women when it comes to that piece of it. Yep, I think that, some of the ladies feel that because they have these degrees and this money, that's like a huge leverage when it comes to a relationship. But for a man, it's not. Yep, he doesn't source, or he doesn't value those things that high from the woman that he's looking for to make his wife. And I still think there's a disconnect. I think that the young ladies are still fighting for that because they've went and achieved those things and spent that money and so forth. So they're still fighting for it. But the fellas are literally saying, and I said, I literally polled some guys just to see what they would say. And they literally said that stuff is at the bottom of their list. So I think there's still a disconnect there between men and women on that particular piece of it. So just to keep it real. You want to say something, Chloe? Go ahead.
Yeah, actually, I pulled that post up because I for any women watching, I just think it's interesting. Like I appreciate when men can get in a space and have a conversation that we can actually listen to, because it gives a lot of insight into the male mindset that we don't always get because we're not we're just not in the same spaces where they actually feel comfortable having certain kinds of conversations, because let's just be honest, we don't always make them feel comfortable to speak directly to us about these things. And what was interesting is number 8 on the list was feminine, pleasant, classy attitude and demeanor. And almost every man put that at the very top of their list. Right. Before sex, they literally put that at the top of their list. Feminine, pleasant, classy attitude, demeanor. And then stuff like how she makes you feel appreciated and respected. Then you got some looks, but mostly it was positive mindset, feminine, pleasant, classy, how she makes you feel, if she respects you, appreciates you. Those were literally like the majority of the top 3. And so I think that women should understand that you can go a lot farther with a man by leading with what is supposed to be most natural for you, and that's your femininity. And I think these days we market femininity as something that it really isn't. Femininity is not about what you wear. That's great if you feel more comfortable in skirts and dresses and lace and frillies, and if that's your vibe, then do you, sis. But it's not really about your outward aesthetic. Femininity really is about who you are and how you carry yourself, the things inside of you that really matter, how you respond to a man, how you carry yourself around a man, how you respond to him, in different scenarios. Like, what is your first thought? It's just, it really is your mindset. And I think that women are missing the mark on femininity because they think that it's something they can do. Like, I'm going to be feminine, right? They think it's something they can do. Don't get me wrong. You can learn to be more feminine and unlearn, masculinity if you've taken on that edge, but it is a process. It's not something you put on and off like a wardrobe. Like, you don't put on femininity and then take it off, and that's not how it works. It needs to be very much a part of who you are as a female. Femininity is actually supposed to be natural. The problem is we are in a society that really doesn't give space for women to really walk in their feminine nature without having to put the effort in. To live in this society and hold on to your true feminine nature, you have to put in the effort, right? The problem is a lot of women don't want to put the effort in. It's a lot easier to put on your independent Black woman cape and fly off into the sunset, because that's what everybody wants for you anyway, right? That's what society wants for you anyway, right? It's a lot harder for you to hold on to your femininity. It's a lot harder for you to push back against the agenda. It's a lot harder for you to say, no, I don't want that. I don't care if you're telling me I should care about this or I should want this. That's not what I want for myself. It's harder for you not to buy in to what you're being conditioned to accept. It takes effort. And what we're missing in today is people just don't want to put in the amount of effort that's necessary. So we see women leaning into these masculine traits and leaning into this group think, right? That it's just me. Nobody's going to help me. Nobody's going to save me. I'm by myself. Independent, like I can get it. I can do bad by myself. Like, that was like the worst statement that they could have ever given us. I can do bad by myself. Who want to do bad? Right. Like, why would you even come in agreement with that? Why would you even come in agreement with somebody speaking that over you? I can do bad by myself. And then you accept it and repeat it.
Right.
I don't want to do bad alone or with anybody else. So it really takes effort. And that's what I would like to see. I would like to see more women start to wake up to the fact that, since some of the reason why you're in a situation, not to remove the accountability. This is not a conversation where I'm saying, oh, it's not your fault, girl. Everybody else did it to you. I'm not victimizing you. You're not a victim. because you still had a choice. What I'm saying though is you do have a whole society where the things that you should prioritize are not the things that you're being told to prioritize. So you now have the responsibility to make a different decision.
All right.
You have to think differently.
Let me do this real quick because I see a little Royal Rumble taking place in these comments over here. I see a little Royal Rumble.
What happened?
All right, so let me go ahead and hit both sides of this right here, and then I want y'all to comment on this, Chloe and Vince. So I got a comment that came in from the kid Middleton. She's sitting on the panel with us right here. She's working double time. So she said, but let's hit him with the slingshot. Is he providing a space where she can be feminine? Okay, so that's Nakia's comment. So Donovan came right behind that and said, Nakia, a man cannot provide a space for a woman to be feminine if she's operating in the masculine mindset. All right, so we got a little back and forth going on right here.
Okay.
So let me get y'all thoughts. I'm gonna come to the panel right here, Vince, Chloe. So this is the question right here. Should a woman be feminine before the man provides the space?
Go ahead, Vince.
Yes.
Okay.
She should lead with her femininity.
Okay.
And see, I think that's a lot of the issue too, that a lot of ladies think that a man is going to jump through hoops to try to be with you. A man who's got himself together about his business is going to spot it in the very first conversation. He's not going to ask you why you not smiling, sis. Yo, you got a beautiful, why don't you smile? If you don't smile at him, he going to find someone who's going to smile at him and he ain't got to say nothing. See, these movies have got y'all thinking some man is going to jump through hoops, chase you down on the bus line, and do all that to try to get your attention. And those the men that you don't want anyway. Man that's looking for a wife wants femininity off the rip. Just like he's going to provide a masculine providing nature off the rip.
Right.
No matter who you are, I was always picking up the tab. No matter who you are, I was always opening up the door.
Right.
No matter who you are, I was always leading with respect. I wasn't saying, oh, well, she worth it, but she ain't worth it. I'm going to open the door for her, but I ain't going to open the door for her. I pick up the check for her, but I ain't going to pick up the check for her. You lead with that. So, yes, you lead with your femininity. And if you don't, it's really, and that's the thing, too. I don't know if they know how. They're so masculine. I had a lady, I remember when I was dating, and I'll let Chloe speak. I'm going to cut it short. Had with the floods, because that was the hot spot back in my day. I'm dating myself, as they would say. So I'm sitting at the bar, and I meet a young lady. She's attractive, and I go to shake her hand. She's shaking my hand like we at a boardroom meeting or something. I'm saying, we had floods, baby girl. Drop that, later. Let that wrist hang a little bit. Oh, well, this is the way I shake hands. I said, okay, sister, you have a nice evening. I wasn't going to try to debate with her and, well, you need to be a little bit more soft. If it's not you, it's not you. And I remember Remy, the first time I went over Remy's house, she was making my plate. Every single time. And she didn't know who I was.
Right.
Not really. She had some indication, but she didn't know because I always play that off. I told I'm working like everybody else. Had an average car, I was good. She was making my own. No, you said it was shocking to me because only a few people have made my plate in my lifetime. My mother and my grandmother. That was really it. I mean, wouldn't let me touch my plate. I said, "Ooh, that's Mrs. Williams right there." She led with the femininity. Led with, and ladies don't understand, when you get the right man, it's the small things. Like buying the type of soap that I like. That was so big to me.
Right.
Like a really, really nice bar of soap. She didn't have to do nothing spectacular. You know what I'm saying? And I think ladies don't really get that, but then you have to do that for the right man too. I understand what Nakia is saying, but you have to lead with the femininity so you can attract the man that has that masculine providing energy that you want. And he's not going to jump the hoops.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So my perspective on this particular question is this, like, so would you want a man to turn on and off his masculinity? How a woman acts? Like we got to think about it, right? Like we make these big statements as women, but we have to really think about what this means. A man, you're not going to be okay with the man turning his masculinity on and off because you don't know what you're going to get with that. Like it might sound good to you. Well, yeah, because sometimes I need him to be a little softer. That might sound good in theory, but you don't actually know what that's going to look like, because then you got to worry about, do he know when to turn it off, when to leave it on, does he know how to regulate it? Like a man just needs to be masculine. If there is something that you need from him in particular, then it needs to be a conversation about what that particular thing is. We should never be talking about a man turning off his masculinity or a woman turning on her turning off her femininity. Like, we shouldn't even have that conversation, because these are things that are actually a part of our nature. They're supposed to be. We're not supposed to be conditioned out of them, right?
Right.
So as a woman, if you don't naturally lean into your feminine and you turn it off and on, what's going to happen is you're going to attract that, right? So if you aren't always in your feminine, then there are going to be times when you're going to attract a man he's going to pick up on the masculinity. And what may end up happening is you may end up being a woman who, for some reason, is always attracting men who are a little bit more passive, a little bit, more quiet, reserved. And that may end up being a problem for you, but you won't understand that it's because of what you're putting out. That's why you're getting the type of response that you're getting. So there shouldn't be about a man providing the space for you, because you should already be feminine. That your femininity is not conditional to what a man does or doesn't do. Your femininity is who you are. It's a part of who you are. You're a female, feminine. That's what you're supposed to be. We've allowed certain situations and circumstances to condition us to take on more masculine habits and traits. But that's not actually who we were born to be, or the role that we were born to play, right? So I think that's the issue. The reason why a woman would say he needs to create that space. Yeah, it's problematic. I'm sorry, I'm stumbling through my words, but it's problematic because I'm trying to figure out how to explain this. It's problematic because a man shouldn't need a woman for him to be masculine. He's a man. And a woman shouldn't need a man to do a specific thing in order for her to be feminine. And if we're getting to the point now where we need the other person to do a certain thing or say a certain thing or have a certain amount of money in order for us to do what's supposed to be natural or innate, that's probably why we now have to have this what you bring to the table conversation in the first place. That's real.
That's real right there. I saw you come off mute, Nakia. You want to say something?
Yeah. See, I have to take a step back. We done talked about so much.
I understand it. It go quick.
My mic this whole time. Right. Well, I just want to say, I'll start with this. It sounds so easy, right? A plus B equals C. We shouldn't be this, we shouldn't be that. But the reality of the matter is, if you were raised in a certain environment or experience certain trauma, a woman may be more masculine. And what may make a woman feel safe, or I'm stumbling on my words now too. depending on the man, if he maybe takes the trash out, let's say that's masculine. Maybe he's doing the masculine things around the house that the woman typically does. That is an example of creating a more feminine space. So she can dial back and sit back and be more feminine and not so masculine with him. But if she's never experienced that, if she never saw her mother as a wife, and so on and so forth, then she wouldn't know that what she's doing is masculine. She's just doing what her circumstances and trauma pushed her to do. And that's me speaking from my personal experience. You know, I have not seen my mother as a wife. I don't have a great example. My great grandmother, she's transitioned now, but she was 96, you know. That's an old marriage. It's something we don't see nowadays. So I do think men, if they want to, if they want to change that woman's life, and whatever the case may be, a man can create a more feminine space, a space for her to be more feminine. It's the women are not always coming, the package deal, just like the men aren't. Some men are more feminine than masculine. That don't mean just kick that man to the curb. He might need an environment. Maybe he was in his mom's house. You never know what environment a man or woman is being raised in to cause them to be a certain way. I distinctly remember growing up and listening to my grandmother say, "You're independent, speak your mind, I'm your daddy." My grandmother, I was raised by women. So even at the age of 30 now, it's like, why would my grandmother and my mom tell me that? They don't have men by their sides, So that's all that I knew. So even up until I had my last 2 kids, I would have gave you that firm handshake at Floods. Yes, sir, because I'm all about my business, So I just wanted to have that in there. We don't know where people or how people were raised and what was taught to them. So that could, creating a feminine space for a woman may help her because she never saw what a man looked like. She never had that masculine input in her life. So that's what I mean when I say creating that feminine space for her. I don't want to have a man in my life and he's not going to take the trash out. I'm still doing those masculine things, and I'm going to continue masculine if I'm still taking out the trash. If he's not inputting his masculine energy, then I'm still going to continue to do those masculine things.
So let me respond to you, Nakia. So, first of all, let me just say I appreciate you being transparent in that situation, right? So that's, some folks I'm sure have had a similar situation growing up. But let me say this, a couple things that you said tipped me off kind of to what could be happening, right? Or what you may have ran into before. You said that, essentially a man coming in and essentially doing some of the traditionally masculine things provides provides an environment that is more conducive to a woman being feminine. I think partially, or what can sometimes happen is if a woman does not move femininely, she will not attract the right type of man. Yep. And what I mean by that is if you move in a certain way, a certain dude, he's not going to even come around. Yep. If you got a guy coming around who don't know how to take out or don't want to take out no trash, like that's a problem. And I said, and at the end of the day, I'm not giving my man no pass. I think that's whack. I'm just being honest. If all dudes know how to get up and take out some trash, but at the end of the day, outside of it being quote unquote a masculine role, how about you just don't want your house stinking? Yeah, so get them, take the trash out. So I'm not giving no pass because dudes know how to take some trash out. But what I wonder is if it's happening is if the woman is given too much masculine, does that now become a challenge for him and he not want to be in his position? Yeah, but I know that can sound like an excuse, but the way I'm trying to communicate that is certain guys respond to certain things. Yeah, just real talk. Certain guys respond to certain things. So certain dudes are not going to come in the presence of a masculine woman certain dudes might not come in the presence of a feminine woman because he might know he ain't up to par. So he just gonna stay away. But see, dudes that know that they masculine, dudes that know that they handle their business, dudes that know that they hold down people, he coming along. So that's what I'm wondering. If because that disconnect or that imbalance is there, is that now bringing in the wrong type of dude? Go ahead, Vince.
Yeah, I just want to say I understand her point. I was raised by a single mom. You know, y'all know my story. Father died when I was 1, but I did have my grandparents, and they were stone cold, Kojic, saved, sanctified, filled with the precious gifts of the Holy Ghost.
Mm-hmm.
They're very traditional. So I did see that father role, but the thing about it is that my grandmother was the brains of the operation. I'll just say that. But it still did not move her from being in her femininity. My grandfather had a 3rd grade education, was a sharecropper from Mississippi. Y'all know the story. Came, you know, he went to the army, got out the army, and went to go work for Ford. My grandmother was the one who had the knowledge to start our business and do things of that nature, but she was still in her femininity. So I think that, and then Nakia said taking out the garbage. A boy can take out the garbage. My 5-year-old could take out the garbage. That's not masculinity. Masculinity is being able to lead. Masculinity is being able to, for a man, and I think that so many women have not dealt with this type of man that can change your whole life.
Right.
Because there are men out there that can change your whole life. That can be a father figure to your kids. That's what being a man is. To be the man that you would want them to marry. The man that you would want them to grow up and be like. That's more than taking out the garbage or washing your car. So then, you know, and then those type of men understand their value, and they need feminine. They don't need masculine. We don't need a partner.
Right.
We need a wife. We don't need nobody to put, you know, like Eddie Murphy said. I forgot how he put it in one of his comedy specials. I got $1 million. Oh, I got $3.79 to bring along with it. No, we don't need that. And I understand your plight, but at the end of the day, people want what they want. And women want what they want. And they say they want these type of men that can lead, that can be masculine. They want feminine women. And I think that was the issue with the whole Kevin Samuel spiel. Because they want a certain type of man, but they're not being a certain type of woman to attract that man. But sometimes you might have to understand that if I'm just so masculine, I might just have to deal and settle for a more passive man. You know, because my aunt did it, and they were married for 30 years. And she led, and he followed. But women don't want that.
I was supposed to say, ladies say they don't want that, Vince.
I don't understand it.
So let me present this question real quick to the ladies. Let me present this question. So we got a lot of viewers right now. You know, I got to ask this question because I just got to know. So we got a lot of viewers right now. A lot of folks checked in. So ladies, drop a comment. Have we gotten to a point in society now where women today are more comfortable being masculine versus feminine?
Absolutely.
That was quick. Hold on.
Absolutely.
Be more comfortable.
Wait, hold on. That was go ahead.
I'm just saying, absolutely, because I think that the perception is that obviously this is not every woman, but I think that the perception that some women have is that it's a lot easier to hold the man's role and position than to hold a woman's. I've heard women say stuff like, all the man has to do is go to work and come home, and like that's it. So, but all the man has to do, is go to work and come home. All the woman has to, do is all of these things. She has to go to work, come home. She still has to take care of the home, responsibilities inside the home, the kids, all of that. And I think the perception is the man is somehow getting off easy. And I just like to think, it just makes me want to ask, what man is that? What man do you feel is getting off easy? Like, what is he not doing? Because if a man is really fulfilling his role as a man, he's not really getting off easy. A man's role as a leader is not an easy role. So if you have a perception that a man gets off easy, then what kind of man do you have, or what kind of men are you attracting, or where did you get this perception from? Because man does more than just go to work and bring a check. Especially if he's the leader of that home, which he's supposed to be. Then he's got a lot more responsibilities than just bringing a check home. So, but I think that's the perception. And so because of that, women think that it's a lot easier for me to do this. I think they think men get some type of glory that women don't get. And I think it's crazy because, once again, I have to ask, what type of men are you around? Because a man who knows and can appreciate what you bring to the family, what you bring to the household, is always going to want to glorify your position. He's always going to want to do it. He knows how important you are. Nobody's ever going to be able to tell this man that he has what he has without you. So that's why I keep going, like, ladies, where are y'all getting this stuff from? Is this stuff that you're hearing? Stuff people are telling you? Are these happily married, successfully married people that are telling you this? Or are these bitter, resentful, I can get and keep a man, or I'm married, but I'm not successfully or happily married, so this is now my perspective of marriage? Where are y'all getting this from? I think that's I think that would be my question. But yes, to answer your question, I'm sorry I got long-winded, but to answer your question, yes, I think women have the perception that it's easier to be in a man's role, so they'd rather play that role. It's easier.
Go ahead, Vince.
I got into a conversation with someone because I said, I'm the boss and my wife is the CEO. That means she don't have a brain of her own. And that's why, I don't know if y'all seen the Facebook page, that's why Remy made that comment. He's like, all right, ma'am, look, don't come for me because I don't come back and forth. But then I also say, I'll put it to you like this. I don't know if people can understand this. I say, I'm Phil Jackson and my wife is Michael Jordan. Then they look and I said, who has the better deal? Michael Jordan or Phil Jackson? Most people will say Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan has the money. Michael Jordan gets the fame. And Phil Jackson is the first fired. But they want Phil Jackson's spot. But they really don't with Phil Jackson's spot. They want the perceived glory that Phil Jackson gets because he's the coach. But Michael Jordan is the star. He getting all the props. But then when y'all getting Phil Jackson's role, y'all want to cry. You talk about it's so hard out here. I don't get as much as men. I don't get as much as my white counterparts. Y'all better think about it. Who would you rather be? Michael Jordan? I would love to be Michael Jordan. But that's not my responsibility as a man. My responsibility as a man is to be Phil Jackson, is to put the team together and then give you directions so you can flourish. You can be the best you can be. That's a beautiful thing.
Real talk.
Well, because Phil has to make the tough choices. He got to make the hard decisions. He has to do the stuff off the court that nobody else wants to do, right? Like, that's what the leader has to do. The leader has to sometimes sacrifice what he might want for what's best for the team. And he's going to be the one that ultimately takes the hit if it goes left. And he's going to be the one left holding the bag if it doesn't work out, right? Because that woman is going to look at him and go, you got to do something. You got to figure this out. And now he has to figure it out. And what's happening is women are putting themselves in that position now where there's nobody for them to turn to and say, what we going to do? They literally got to look in the mirror and say, what am I going to do? Yeah. And I don't want that. I don't want that for women, because that's not how this is supposed to go. Like, if you are in a position, like Nakia so graciously shared with us, if you have been, because this is people's real lives, if you have been in a position where you have not seen this as an example, that is common, right? So she's right. Instead of dismissing someone, there should be grace for that person. But what that person needs to do is, now that they recognize, okay, this is something that could be problematic for me, because this is not something that I know to navigate this, right? I'm only familiar with this. Then now that you've recognized that, you have to actually go off and do the work to try to kind of unlearn maybe some of the things. And it's a process, and it does take time, and it's not easy. But we all have, some things that we have to unlearn, right? Maybe some bad habits that we've taken on, some things that we realize now from childhood or just our environment or our circumstances. We're like, oh, this is not good. Nobody ever told. Maybe some things that we carry with us that nobody ever called us out on. And now we're adults, and other adults are like, no, you're not going to be able to, that don't work for me, right? Now we got to go, nobody ever called me out. I got to do something about this, right? So now you gotta actually address it, and it's hard, and it's really hard when you get to these big old ages that we're at. Like, it's hard to go backwards and correct things. But we can't make progress until we do that. So I would suggest that once you see those things about yourself, you gotta go, okay, I gotta sit with this, and I gotta work this out, because it's not productive for me. And unfortunately, some women come to that realization, and they do the work. Some come to that realization and they want someone to just accept them how they are without having to do the work. But they don't realize that they're going to be happier if they do the work.
All right, so double benefit. Let me grab this comment real quick, and I'm going to try to get a couple of the comments. So Nakia dropped the comment. She said, yeah, I feel like I'm being stripped of my powers. This is a important point. And I want to piggyback off of this. I think sometimes we don't realize how powerful a feminine woman is. Yeah, today we try to label a feminine woman as somehow she weak or some stuff. And that is so far from the truth. Yep, a feminine woman who actually lives that and is that, she can get all type of things. I mean, what did they say back in the day? She got these men wrapped around her finger. She can get all types of things from a man. She definitely can get things from a good man. Because when a man comes across a feminine woman who lives that, outside of providing an environment, who lives that life, he about ready to give her everything. Yeah, whatever she wants. How much it costs. How many of them we need to get. The whole movement of the relationship and their interaction changes. Yeah, but I don't think, some of the ladies today understand how much power there is in being in your natural state and what you can get from a man. And I'm not talking about manipulating a man. I'm just talking about support. And the type of support that you can get from a man if you really live and move in your femininity. Like it's endless. Yeah, but I think we have to really sit down and think about that thing. I mean, it goes for a man as well. A man that is truly masculine and about his business and takes care of his business. Ladies love that. They love that. Yeah, they willing to make plates and cook and clean and I don't want to get graphic, but it's all type of things that'll go down out here. Yep, if you actually just move as a solid, upstanding man out here. So let me just go and put that out there just for the folks who may have forgotten. Yep, feminine is power. It literally is power. So we can't lose sight of that. We get some of these comments. Let's see. Shantae said, let's see, that hurt my heart when I read that comment. Oh, I got to go back. Okay, let's see. Lily Robinson. Shout out to Lily Robinson in the building. She said, facts. See, Janine said, when women know what they're capable of and own that, the relationship world is at their fingertips, respectfully. No, that's facts. It's facts. See, Nakia said, let's see. Shantae said, Nakia, you always got a verbal village over here. I grew up around it, but wasn't able to provide that for my kids, so I understand both sides. Family reunion every Wednesday, like free therapy. Okay?
Come to the couch, sis.
Let's see, Janine Martin. She said, I agree, Quay. See, Nakia said, thank you, Shantae. I got a little emotional myself. We got a couple more comments up here. Let's see. Donovan, he dropped one. Let's see. If the ship sinks at the responsibility of a woman, oh, I'm a single mother. If the ship sinks at the responsibility of a man, oh, he's a failure. So yes, I will say this. You know, if a man is leading and he's leading properly, listen, I'll go back and use the analogy of Phil Jackson and Michael Jordan. Even when Michael Jordan can't hit that last jumper, Phil still got to eat that. Michael Jordan ain't got to eat that. Phil got to eat that. Yeah, because Phil is steering the ship. He got to eat that. So yeah, we can't be, and I'm gonna put it this way, we can't be transactional with leadership. Yeah, just taking a quick step back, you know, so I know we were, you know, I was asking the question about, you know, are ladies, you know, comfortable now being masculine versus being feminine? You know, then we kind of touched on the leadership positions and all of those things, right? But we can't do the transaction thing. We can't pick and choose. If you want to take the leadership position, you got to lead it all. Yeah, you can't just lead one day when the money coming in, but then when the money stopped, then you want to fall back and look for somebody else's help. That ain't how that works. Yeah, but a lot of these dudes who, I mean, new term, a lot of these dudes who stand on business, they got to ride that thing when the money coming in and when it's not. Yeah, so ain't no picking and choosing on when we gonna take this role and when we not gonna take this role. So let me just go and put that on out there. All right, I'm trying to see if I got any more. I might flip us up real quick. Let me see. Kid said writing it down. Okay. So I'm gonna flip us up real quick. This kind of ties into this video. Well, it ties into this topic. Yeah, this ties into this topic. So let me switch this up real quick. All right, part two. Are men still obsessed with women?
No.
That was quick. I'm gonna run that back.
Too many women haters out here.
Are men still obsessed with women? All right, so we run video number two.
Facebook, and basically it says men are not obsessed with women like they used to be. Y'all don't find that kind of weird? And to be honest, no, I don't find that kind of weird, because what exactly is there for men to be obsessed with in today's world? Women have left no room for imagination, none whatsoever. It's like your sense of entitlement is out of control. Your expectations are unrealistic. Y'all walk around showing your bodies half dressed, half exposed 24/7, out smoking, drinking, partying 24/7, on the scene 24/7. A lot of y'all are not even coming with nothing to the table because you're too busy with your hand out trying to see what man got the next bag so he can sponsor your lifestyle to make you look like you're living a lifestyle to post on the internet. It's like a lot of y'all don't have common sense. A lot of y'all don't know how to hold a conversation. A lot of y'all don't have no originality about yourselves. Everybody is getting the same body. Everybody is getting the same hairstyle. Everybody looks the exact same. And it's like y'all get that confused. Oh, well, men like that. No, men will fuck that. But men are not wiping that and they're not cuffing that. And I think y'all are starting to realize that. And then the first thing y'all want to say is, oh, well, they're gay, they're sassy. No, they're not. They're just tired of what you guys are presenting. And if y'all are here to give them free pussy, free looks, and free everything they ain't got to work for, why would they? But they're never going to take you serious. So it seems to me like a lot of y'all are now starting to realize that you're either losing value or have lost value from chasing attention. And now that's something that y'all got to deal with, and y'all can't face that fact. Men love women that are exclusive, women that are put up, women that every man can say he had or can have. Simple as that.
Okay.
I get it, but it's just a lot of blaming to me. It's like, it's your problem, it's that problem, it's this problem. Like, that's the problem now. It's with men and women. We just keep pointing a finger at each other, you know? Why are men not obsessed with us? I know I refrain from going out, like hanging out, you know, like clothes and body showing, like all of that. I really refrain from that. Now, do I go out and I like parties? Yes. Am I at the business and networking spots? Yes. But I really don't have a clear reason as to why men aren't obsessed with us anymore. I don't know. Even thinking about Kevin Samuels and when he was speaking, it didn't seem like he was a man that was obsessed with us women. So why was that? Why was that his perspective and his rhetoric when he was speaking to us? A lot of people tag him as a woman hater. So I don't know.
Okay, I appreciate that. You want to say something, Vince? Go ahead, man.
Yeah, I think that most people, when you really delve into Kevin Samuels, what his real thing was, average men getting with average women and getting on out the way. That was really his point. Average, and most of us are average. I know we don't like to say we're average, but most of us are average. We're average height, we're average looking, we average in school, but somehow average has become less than or a bad thing. And get to the point about why men might not be obsessed with women. I want some of you ladies just to just do this for a week. When you go to Target, when you go to Kroger, see how many black women are smiling at you. Just a nice smile. I know we don't pay attention because we hurrying up and we're back and forth and I want you to pay attention to the attention you get from black women, just in general. Are they smiling at you? Hey, how you doing? Hey, how you doing? So yes, me and my partners were leaving Planet Fitness last night. And you know how many women will walk in the door, we holding the door, won't say thank you, they on their phone, won't smile at you, won't just give a pleasant smile. It was a lady that yesterday, she was so nice when we was walking out. She was like, hey guys, how y'all doing? I see y'all getting y'all workout on. It just pleasant. And we was falling all over ourselves trying to open the door for her. It was a funny thing. I was opening one door, the other guy was opening the other door, and I said, shoot, if she had a flat tire, I'd call AAA right now and tell them to come on and fix sister's car. She wouldn't even have to give me nothing for it. That's how nice she was. So that's what men, and then they think, well, I don't want to be flirty, and I don't want to be. How has a smile and a nice hello flirty? Especially when you out there where I'm at. It's not like you seeing somebody that's going to bop you in the head and take your purse.
Right.
These are married men, older men, younger men. I just want y'all to take a challenge for a week, then come back on here next Wednesday, and I want you to tell me the truth. How many ladies just smiled at you? Hey, how you doing? That's why men are not obsessed, because y'all not obsessed with us. Y'all the only women that say, we don't need no man. I ain't never heard no other totality of women say that.
Are you trying to black woman? You saying black women always saying we don't need no man?
Yes, that's the trope. I'm not saying all of them do, but that is the trope. Come on now, sis.
No, I'm with you. I will say it. I'm with you. I would just say this, even when going back to just being feminine, being natural. So a quick story. I was at Dawn Seekers. It was a religious worship event. And this lady was so masculine and so mean, holding up seats. And it's like, if this lady would just smile, you don't have to be. So it's not, I say that to say it's not just a relationship thing. We're not like this just in relationships. These masculine women are like this across the board. And even other women, their counterparts, sometimes look at them like, dang, girl, why you like that? Why you so aggressive? So I agree with what you're saying. I'm one that smiles at a lot of people. And they like, what is this girl so jolly about? So I get it. We can be a little mean, and we do need to soften up. So that's all I got to say.
And then also, I don't give a pass for these goofballs out here that's messing the game up.
Bet not.
I don't give a pass for these goofballs who want to live in their mama's basement complaining out women ain't submissive. They gonna take me for all my money and I ain't even really got a job. I say ignore those men. Just ignore them because they some fools. I get it, sis. There's a lot of them out there too. Talking about, I don't want a woman to take my money. It ain't got no money. So yeah, I know there's a lot of fools out there. So just ignore them.
That's real. Let me go to Chloe. Chloe, you want to say something?
Disclaimer, not ever at any time on Candid Konvos do we ever address the men who are bottom feeders. We're never talking about bottom feeders. Not who we're talking about. We don't talk about them. They are not the men that we are referencing. Those are not the men that we are talking about. Just know we don't talk about those unless we're, encouraging them to do better. That is the only way we hold conversations with this. But I also wanted to say, I want to challenge women to just really do this, right? Because I want us to have these conversations genuinely, right? As women, we have to admit that before men took on this huge platform, the Kevin Samuels and some others, right, where they had like really big platforms and they were, given this space to now, share all of their feelings and their gripes and their complaints and all of that about women. Women, we have had this platform for years. We have had a space for years to vent about men and how men don't do this and men don't do that. Books have been written. Movies have been made. Whole talk shows about what men don't do. Now men have a platform, multiple, and now we're like, take their podcast mics. Oh my God, the podcast. And it's like, ladies, to be fair, we have always had a space where we could talk about our gripes with men. We have always had that space. And now men have a space where they can do the same. Now, are all men created equal in this space? No, that's true. But some men are really coming to the table trying to have genuine conversations. Some men are really coming to the table trying to say, we don't like this about the way our women are operating. And women here is we're getting blamed. That's what women hear, right? But what we're not paying attention to is, do we think that men felt like they were taking all the blame all that time? Men ain't this, men ain't that, men. Like, you don't think men felt like maybe they were getting blamed for everything? Now men are able to talk about the problems that they've always had, but never had the space or the opportunity to talk about them or to say them out loud. Right. So we're gonna have to deal with it, ladies. We're going to have to deal with, the same thing that our men had to deal with when we were going on and on about them. Can you guys mute when you're not speaking?
No, I think it's coming from, it was coming from Tay. Tay, you had a little noise, but yeah, just unmute when you're ready. You want to say something, Tay?
Yeah, so that's
is it a buzzing?
No, it was like a little bit of some type of little distortion, but yeah, just unmute when you want to, say something. It sounds better now, though.
Okay.
Did you want to say something real quick?
I didn't know Chloe was done.
Okay.
I was pretty much done. I was just gonna say, we shouldn't be so quick to cite blame. I think we need to listen. When men start to speak and they start to give their perspective, we need to listen before we put the wall up. We need to run it across our filter and actually see if there's something there to what's being said. And this was actually a woman speaking. This is a woman. This was not a man. And she's right. Everything that this woman said, women are doing today. She's right. So, I mean, maybe instead of being offended, we should actually take a moment to run it across our filter and say, dang, is there anything about me that I can change? Like, am I doing these things? Am I participating in these things?
Let me get this comment, then we're coming to you, Tay. Let's see. Woods, shout out to Woodsy in the building. She said, lots of zesty podcasts going on as well. I love you guys and your conversations, but some others are outrageous with their beliefs. Yeah, no, I appreciate that comment, Woodsy. No, we on here on some business. Yeah, we on here on some business. Like I said, I know some folks, I'm gonna call it what it is, because I know how people get down. I know some folks be in their feelings because we be on here having these conversations. They be getting triggered. You know, they be trying to tag team up with other folks in their misery. Like I get it, but that's why this platform is here. We gonna talk for real, because at the end of the day, we got some for real problems.
Right.
Yeah, we having a hard time getting relationships off the ground. We having a hard time, as the lady in the first video, can't articulate our value and what we bring to the situation. Like, we having some real issues, right? And if you having real issues, you got to have real conversation. So yeah, I'm not here for the games, and we ain't here for the play. And everybody who come on here, they be on some serious stuff. If everybody that comes on these panels with us got some vested interest in trying to clean up this nonsense that's going on out here. So yeah, let me just go and lay that foundation. All right, let me come over to Tay. You want to say something, Tay?
Yeah. So she was preaching on the video, but I wanted to pick you off of what Chloe was saying. I'm proud of these men that be on this little social media talking they junk. You know what I'm saying? Because some women don't have a social circle to hold them accountable. Where even if they just in the bed scrolling on TikTok and they see a guy speaking up, they might have some accountability at the time when they sitting there by themselves. You know, so accountability that they never felt coming from one of their homegirls or their family members, because they don't have that type of village. So I love to see men, especially in young guys. Remember that one clip y'all had played a couple months back when the guy, he was talking that stuff and she was like talking about rape me or something. And he was like, what you got? Like, he was like, y'all remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'd be proud of men when they be talking, speaking up and talking that junk. And then I wanted to say, piggyback off of, or just highlight what Janine said. Janine said, once you realize what you're capable of and you stand on it. And I don't think that, that y'all understand, the long time married couples, y'all understand, but when you single or you're a single mother or whatever it is, that's a healing from the inside out. Just like when people aren't friendly or people aren't smiling, that's a healing from that's something that's going on within them. You know what I mean? It is a separate thing, because I'm big on manners. I don't care if you don't have to smile at me, but a thank you, you can say thank you in a mean way. You know what I mean? I don't like that. And I'll say you're welcome if somebody don't say thank you. But I think that's a lot to add. That's better. That's easier said than done, because the healing from the inside. And if you don't have that village, just like the village I was talking about, if you don't have that village, it takes a longer process to heal, and you might not understand that until you're late into life. But once you do stand on 10 toes on and that's what it was about me. I wasn't about the show. I wasn't about, oh, I'm married and I have a 2-parent household and this, that, and that. I wasn't about that. It was about what was healthy for me and my daughter, so if it wasn't conducive to what we're doing, then I got to move on, or you have to move on, or whatever the situation was, and I think that when, well, I can't get it together, but I think that when these women are, sometimes they're like secretly embarrassed with themselves when they're held accountable by these guys, and they talk about it. So A woman that's confused or a woman that don't understand would not agree with that video. Only the people that understand. You know what I mean? And I agree. And I just think that, I don't know. It just take a certain type of healing from within for you to say yeah, and for you not to quote unquote settle. You know what I mean? And that's just what it is. You know, I'm sure if you know, because I feel like Remy, Vince's wife, is a strong woman. I'm sure that if Vince wasn't who he was, then I feel like she would have just moved on, because she was looking for a certain quality, and if that man wasn't that quality, then she didn't want it. You know, so when she found that quality, and you know what I mean, and it just was what it was. I mean, you know, history after that. You know, but I think that when you are a woman, when you know what you worth, and you know you making plates, and you know your house clean, and it's not no man there, so it's not like you keeping it clean for the man. You know what I mean? When you already know, and when you already living in that, it's so easy to attract. You know what I mean? So you have to exude what you want to attract. You know, so it's a certain type of healing from within, though, and it don't come overnight. But that's all I want to say.
That's real right there. Hold on, Vince. Let me just check with Hirsch real fast. Hirsch, you want to say anything, or you good, man?
I want to say hello, everybody.
What's going on? What's going on?
I just got off work, so I apologize for getting on so late, but I just got off and I just want to get on. So I was still want to get on. So I'm just listening. So when I've got something to say, I'll raise my hand. I'll throw it up.
All right, no doubt, no doubt. I'll just check it, man. All right, go ahead, Vince. You want to say something else?
Yeah, I just want to say that I get on these podcasts and in these conversations because I don't want the relationship marriage conversation to only be from a negative point of view. Let's have some people that's happily married. Let's have some people that's successfully married. And then you got the people that, man, if you're successfully married, then why don't you just go be happy? Just trying to shout me down, and it's hard because sometimes I just want to say, you know what? I'm just gonna worry about myself and my family because I am happy. But I think that I have to be a voice because, you know, I live what I preach. So I think it has to be married men in these conversations that are happy, that have stepped up to the plate. And no, I am definitely not a perfect person, and my wife wasn't perfect. I told y'all, I had a child when I was 17, had another one at 22, married my high school sweetheart. We stayed married for 1 year. I've been a single parent with 2 kids. I've been a cheater. I've been a liar. I've been not the honest of men. But then when I decided to change and be that, I think I have a story. I think I have a testimony. And I think that men have to have that testimony. It can't just be these weirdo type of guys, because that do seem like a little hate or a little, well, you can't get it anyway, so why you talking about it type of thing. So I think but then also you need to have married women too. But I understand that they just don't, you know, they got theirs and they just don't want to be bothered. They don't want the ridicule. They don't want the, oh, well, you ain't happy for real. And oh, Vince must be beating you in the head with a hammer because he said you submissive. You ain't got no mind of your own. You this, you that. Y'all can't be that happy. And I think the reason why I really talk about this because I've had some horrible relationships. I think I just say this about that Jonathan Majors interview he had, and he said something that's rung in my soul. He said, if I had ended this toxic situation a year ago, if I had been man enough to tell her I didn't want her anymore and I had moved on, I would not have been in that car. I was like, that's the realest thing that anybody can ever say, when you're man enough to say, okay, this relationship isn't working for me anymore. It's toxic and I'm gonna move on. But we have to be men and say, you know what, it's not working. Because we can't be in these relationships. Because you see, the man was running from the woman and he still probably lost half of his career.
Right.
So we as men have to think about things like that as well. So I'm going to keep coming on the podcast.
No doubt, no doubt. Let's say we got work to do, man. Let me get some of these comments real quick, and then I'm gonna come down to the newcomers on the panel here. Let's see. Eva Wright said, anyone dealing with trauma should get counseling, men or women. They aren't fully ready for a relationship. Do the work. You attract what you are. Be whole. Strive to be kind and respectful. Okay, now I appreciate that comment. Appreciate that comment right there. Let's see. Janine Martin. Shout out to Janine Martin in the building. She said, most of us 40s, 30s women come from, let's see, if you get approached while out and you have an attitude while speaking to those said men without respect, a F, okay. Yeah, about damn me cussing in here. F you then B will follow, not me. Let's see, if you give respect, you will get it. It's all about the spirit placement. You never know what a person is going through and to even approach a certain type of woman. Okay, I appreciate that comment right there. Like I said, cats doing that type of nonsense, that's not the dude. That ain't the one you want. So I'll leave it at that. All right, so let me check in. We got Nicole IT is in the building. We got Joe checking in. Joe, Nicole, anybody, y'all want to say anything at all? Or y'all good right now? Y'all both on mute. We can't hear you, Nicole. I couldn't hear you.
I'm good for now. I just dropped in, so.
All right, cool, man. Yeah, see if you can sum us up with your audio, Nicole. We can't hear you right now. I'll give you a minute.
Well, while she on, that's my twin, y'all. So we're gonna get her a little second. But I just wanted to say, since Vince had mentioned it, like why I come here, So I come in chat to just help change my perspective, just talking to you intellectual people, just the relationship advice, all of it, it opens up space for awareness and more perspective. And then to also, just going back to the first video, just to tell any single mother out there, like, it's not healthy. We should want to have balance in the household. And I have 4 kids and I'm a single mother. And I still desire to have a husband. I've been that independent, woman out there running after the business and making the money. That's all fine and dandy. But at the end of the day, when you have children, you need that balance. And so that's another reason why I'm here, just to share my story. And it's going to change. Everything is going to evolve to what I desire it to be, but single women need to know we need our men, especially if we have children involved. And we should not let our childhood trauma and whatever else we've been conditioned to believe or think to, allow us not to have it. That stuff we have to unlearn what was taught to us as kids. And so I just wanted to say why I'm here, and I love being here with y'all.
I appreciate that. Yeah, no, definitely. Nicole, I still can't hear you, Nicole. I see you saying something. Yeah, maybe check your audio source. It's almost like you send into a different source other than your speakers or something. So yeah, check your audio source because you are unmuted right now, but yeah, we just can't hear you. But yeah, no, to your point, Nakia, ladies definitely need their men, and men definitely need their ladies. Yeah, to your point earlier, you know what I'm saying? We're doing a lot of back and forth. Yeah, we fighting each other, we pointing the finger, we blaming each other and all of that. But at the end of the day, we got to own our stuff. Yeah, we've been out here making some bad decisions. And I'm sure everybody can sit back and look at their life and their situations and be like, yeah, I made some bad decisions. But we got to own that stuff. Yeah, we got to own that stuff. Yep, and just kind of looping this back to the second video, with men being obsessed with women. I think some of these men today definitely are not obsessed with women anymore because of some of these bad decisions that I'm talking about. Yeah, I was talking with Chloe earlier, and I asked her a question, and I said, what happened to the sexy lady? Yep, and what I mean by that is there used to be what I would consider a sexy lady. So she put a little outfit on, get her little hair whipped up, throw her little heels on, and that was all it took. And she'd walk up in floods, and fellas was checking. She'd sit down, get her little, what was y'all drinking back then? Y'all little sex on the beach, whatever y'all was drinking back then.
Cosmopolitan.
Right, there
Margarita.
you go.
Cosmopolitan.
Right. She go get her little yeah, she go get her little Cosmo. And it's like that was all it took. But then we look to what we see today. And I'm not talking all women. It's not all women, but we look to what we see today. And we got the twerking nonsense going on. We got the naked ladies out here. We got, and I know y'all see the same stuff I see. It's all over the grams. It's all over the Facebooks. It's all out in the streets. Yep, it's fishnet this, it's see-through this, it's you name it. Yep, and unfortunately, what I'm starting to see in some of these conversations and some of these comments from these fellas are, as weird as this sounds, they tired of it. Yep, they literally tired of it. Yep, and I think what is happening is, guys are used to pursuing. Herschel talked about this on a previous show. Guys are used to pursuing women. Yep, and if you are showing me all the body, and I always crack these jokes. It's so much stuff out here. But it's like if you showing me all the body up front, you ain't making it ain't no challenge involved. It's like that's throwing these guys off. Yep, and I think what's happening is when you combine that with the fact that a lot of guys now are sitting down and looking at what they're out here doing, and they're saying to themselves, okay, I'm handling my biz. I'm holding things down. I got my money together, got my own crib, cars, investments, you name it. I might, single fathers, you name it. They out here like I'm doing my thing. So now they're saying to themselves that because I'm out here handling my business and I understand my value, I am now a high commodity. A lot of ladies are looking for me. A lot of ladies are describing the type of man that I'm moving, as. So when that happens, a guy is now going to look at some of this other stuff that we're seeing out here that they're seeing from the young ladies, and they're going to say, I'm good. I don't want that. I don't need that. Yep, the chase is, the pursuer is now hurt now because he's like, dang, I can see everything that you got to offer right out the gate. Like the pursuit is hurt right now. Yep, going back to the first video, the young lady, he's asking her about her value. She can't even articulate what her value bring is to that man. So see, now guys, like the ladies say, they lacking patience. The guys is lacking patience now too. Because they like, what am I going to get? I'm out here doing my thing. I'm A1. I'm on top of my stuff. So what am I going to get from you? What's your contribution? And right now, it's not looking well. So I think that is, some of the reason why we see that a lot of these guys today, they are not as obsessed with these women as they used to be. Yeah, because at the end of the day, they don't see these women the same. These aren't the same type of women that we used to see. Yep, that pool, and I'm not saying that those girls don't still exist, but that pool is getting smaller and smaller and smaller. Let me go to Nicole. I think I heard some audio, Nicole. You ready now? Let's see what you got.
Yay.
There you go. Did you want to say something?
I was saying I was catching up to the conversation. So
okay.
I'm
so you chilling right now?
Yeah, for now.
All right, cool. We got your audio working though. We good.
Y'all can't come up on this panel and be chilling. Y'all can chill down in them comments. You got to come up here and say something.
I was in the comments.
Okay, well now you done made it to the big league. Now, baby, you got to say something.
Okay. I don't get a grace period. It's been a while. Grace period.
Oh man.
Oh my God.
Right.
Oh wow. Let me go to Hirsch. I know he said he wanted to say something. Go ahead, Hirsch.
Yeah, I just want to share something real quick because like kind of what you were saying about the whole sexy thing and how the women are presenting themselves out in public, everything. I literally had a few occasions where I was out and about and I seen a attractive woman. She seemed like she had her stuff together, her life together. It seemed like I could just catch the vibe. It seemed like she was a decent person and everything like that, right? But the thing that stopped me from even approaching her was because she just was like, what she had on was just like too. I mean, even though my eyes was like, oh yeah, but it was too revealing. It was like I'm sitting there thinking, like, for one, I don't like in the future. Let's say fast forward. I don't want to have to try to change her and say like, oh, you can't dress like this, blah blah blah, all that type of stuff. For two, it's just I don't even want to have nobody out there like that. You know what I'm saying? So she kind of just lost, she just lost an opportunity right then and there. We could just be based off her just being too revealing, just wearing too much out here. I mean too little out here. I'm sorry.
No,
Showing
I got you.
yeah, but
I know what you mean.
I get that. I see that a lot, and I think, that a lot of women have the wrong idea, because I know back in the day, it is like, women would show certain things to get a man's attention, right? That's how they lure us and get us to pursue. But now it's like, we getting the whole thing right then and there before even having, there's no mystery at all no more, because I remember back in the day, I used to like anticipate, like I go, I wonder what she looks like like this and stuff. But now it's like I already know. When they're wearing those leggings and everything, you see everything. I'm sorry, but you do. And it's like, so you already have a sneak preview already of what it is before so they need to fix that, figure that out.
That's real.
That's not gonna stop. That's never gonna stop. It's like the cat has been let out the bag. So it's not like you put Pandora's box back where it was from, where it came from. It's just, it is what it is. In this country, that's just the way it is. Can't go back in time and go back to, I was gonna say R. Kelly, but the 90s music, the 70s music, the Isley Brothers, what they sing about women is because they left a lot to the imagination. You wondered, like you said, and it made you that instinct within us to want to pursue and see what else is there, and not just on a physical level. Like most people say, "Oh, you just want to see what's underneath my clothes." Well, yeah, that too, but also what's under your exterior in terms of your character, your heart. So I feel like a lot of how women reveal themselves today is it's a compensation for what they lack in their character, their internal qualities, the things that keeps us around. Because yes, you can capture our attention with our eyes because, well, that's what we go to strip clubs for. We go there specifically for that reason. But we don't go there looking for wives. So we're out in the street and we see a woman that is attractive. There's a certain I guess standard that we look for. There's something else that we look for beyond just the sexual aspect to it. It's that quality. It's that whatever that I guess they say je ne sais quoi, that is within a woman, that just captures a woman, that makes a man want to stick around, that makes a man want to take care of her, provide for her, protect her. It's all of these different qualities that we look for, and it's something that we can tell very quickly in the same way that a woman can tell, can this man provide for me, protect me, take care of me, the future children I have. You can kind of make that interpretation of that person's character pretty quickly. So we can do the same thing with a woman, and we can tell based on just how much she's showing to us. Because you figure if we're going like, whoa, she got everything out here showing, I'm attracted to her sexually, but it's probably going to be for a short time, not a long time. And that if you feel that way and if you see her that way, then if you're out with her in public and she continues to dress that way, and you have to assume that she will because that's the way you meet her. Then if that's the way you see her, how many other men are going to see her that way and try to pursue her in that way, looking for sexual favors? And is she going to fall to that temptation of the man giving her the same sexual attention that you gave her? So we think about these things, that foresight, like into the future. Oh man, yeah, she's attractive, but if she got me like this, and I'm looking at her like this, how many other men are looking at her like this? And does she have the character and the mind to even withstand it? She probably doesn't if she's dressing that way. If she's giving me that kind of attention and it's so easy, then she's going to make it. It's possible she could make it just as easy for everyone else. So we think in that way, in that mindset. So we make all these calculations in our head, and it can be like in less than 30 seconds, just like what Hirsch did. You see it, whoo, just go through the list, do. Ah, man, you know what? It's going to be a problem. It happens just that quick. And then she doesn't even know that she's been put out the contendership. Now she's stuck with other men that may not even be the type of man that Hirsch is, because she doesn't understand why she can't attract like a man like a Hirsch. But she did, but for the wrong reasons. But he chose to go a different route and say, well, I'm thinking long term. The men who are short term, yeah, they're going to go for it, hit it, quit it, do the short term relationship thing, and then keep it pushing. And she won't be able to figure out why this keeps happening to me. Why this keeps happening to me. But anyways, that's all I have to say.
That's real. Let me you want to say something, Vince? I saw you pop off, man. You want to say something? You good?
Then I think also, I think the lady was of a certain generation. I think the social media has given so many people the option to get attention. That's what a lot of it is. It's attention. It's the likes. It's the heart eyes. It's the attention that you're getting from strangers. That's why you have so many ladies getting these BBLs. My wife was just coming from Miami last week, and they had to stop the plane because the lady was throwing up all on the plane, because they get that BBL, they had that bodysuit on, and they be at the back sitting on their knees because they can't sit down. And it was right before Christmas. She throwing up all on the plane, trying to get a booty. And my wife said her back still was square. But anyway, I'm just saying this unwanted, and young guys do it too, for the clout. I guess they say, the young folks say, for the clout, for the likes, for the ooh, he got some money, ooh, he got a nice car, ooh, he this. So I think that social media in that aspect has made it hard for younger, and even older people too, to really keep it real and keep it 100, because it's so much of this fake attention. It's so much of these perceived options. Because you think about it, you had a better chance when you didn't have as many people to meet. Now, it should be easy to meet people, because you can meet people anywhere now over social media. You can talk to somebody in Chicago and New York, but it's perceived options, because you still don't have those options.
Right.
So, I don't know.
The grass is greener on the other side kind of thing. It's pretty much what it is, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't make any sense. Like, if I'm in Michigan, someone's in Florida, and this guy or the woman might think she has a chance with a bunch of different guys sliding her DMs. Realistically, most of those men who slide her DMs probably can't even afford to get out to her in the first place. That's an expense. You're talking about just going from state to state. So he has to be a certain man of certain kind of means to be able to make something like that happen. Her best odds are probably somewhere where she's going to the grocery store and she bumps into a man. But unfortunately, because of social media, she has a skewed perception that, well, I see this guy in front of me. I know he's a good guy. He's probably good for me, but I'm going to hold out and wait for all of these other guys that are sliding my DMs, who, if they're sliding your DMs, it's probably for a reason. It's probably not because they're looking to marry you. It's because they see something that you're showing off on social media that makes them want to slide in your DMs in the first place, because it's not your personality that they're intrigued by, nor your character, nor your values, nor your morals. That's not the first thing we see when we look on social media, and women know that. So they use that as a way to garner attention, which is their nature. Nothing wrong with that, but it's been hijacked. That instinct within a woman has been hijacked to look for that attention, and it's all superficial. It's not even a natural occurrence. Whereas before, you have to put in the effort, you go out and you attract those type of men around you, quality men. But now you have the so-called, supposedly, the world at your disposal to show off to. And now everybody wants to be a Kim Kardashian. But that's not reality. And even if you have those numbers, it doesn't necessarily mean you're going to make that kind of money. So even if they're using their attention, they're using it to monetize themselves, selling themselves. They don't say it's prostitution, but we men feel like, yeah, it is. Well, I don't have an OnlyFans account. It's just, I'm just doing some money. You putting yourself out there. You know what you're doing. We know what goes down behind the scenes, but it's cool. You can tell yourself that all you want to, but we know what the deal is. So, yeah.
No, that's real. That's real. Let me get this comment. Then I got a question for the ladies out here. Let's see. Even Wright said, "Let's see. You have to leave something to the imagination. Old school, but still works. I'm married and I have 3 girls. That's the message to them. Doing all that will not get you where you want. You can be sexy and still covered. Most strippers aren't married. Focus and don't fall into the trends." Okay, appreciate that comment. That's spot on. So let me go ahead and drop this question. So we got a lot of ladies on here. Got a lot of ladies checked in right now. So let me go ahead and drop this question. Question to the ladies. Do y'all really want to get married?
Absolutely. Expeditiously.
And I'm crying. I would say yes.
You would say yes. Okay, so I heard 2 yeses. Any ladies in the comments, drop a comment, let me know. Yeah, I'm trying to understand.
Follow-up question.
Well, it's always a follow-up question. You know how I get down. No, the reason I'm asking that question is going back to a point that Nakia made. She made this point. She said, noted, love it when men speak. So we are definitely in an era where we have more men being vocal, right? And I think that's a good thing, because typically men are not always vocal, right? So they'll just internalize a lot of things. They may be pissed off, but you might not know it. They're just going to keep it to themselves and keep it moving, right? Because they got business to handle. But we have men being more vocal now. Yep, and I hear men saying certain things, right? I brought up earlier that I, posted and kind of polled the men, and they dropped that financial income, when they're looking for a woman that they want to marry or be in a relationship with. Finances at the bottom, education was at the bottom. Yeah, they was looking really focused on her soft skills, her nurturing, basically her feminine skills. That was the primary stuff that they were looking for when looking for a wife, or looking for a woman to be in a relationship with. But guys are saying these things all the time. If I see the conversations, I'm in the conversations, I see it all. They're saying these things all the time, but it almost still feels like some of the ladies don't want to hear it. Yep, the guys are like, hey, we don't like all this artificial stuff, and they still go out here and get artificial. Yep, the guys are saying that they, want a fit woman, and they still go out here and don't put any priority around being fit and being healthy. The guys are saying that they want a lady that's a little more conservative, with how she, represents her body out here to the world. And they still go out here, like Herschel said, and they go get naked. So that's why I wanted to present the question: do the ladies really want to get married? Do they really want to hear what these men today are talking about when they're saying this is what I'm looking for in a wife? So yeah, I just wanted to put that question out there. But let me I'm gonna flip it real quick, because I see I got Tamandal on here. I got Hirsch. Tamandal, you about to come off mute? You want to say something, man?
Yeah, good afternoon, everybody.
What's going on, brother?
All right, I'm all right. Thank you. Bless. So I have come to the conclusion that for the men that every man has his own requirements for a specific woman that he has in mind, and I believe that some of the issues that women have in hearing that men have these standards is because the majority does have a certain preference as men, but that they know that there are men, maybe the minority that we don't speak a lot, but there are certain men that have criteria that can meet that woman's needs. And the thing is that is where the issue lies, that it's only a small minority. That's why you hear them often saying, oh, it's somebody out here that'll like it, but can you find that person? Because the majority has a standard. And like you said, the fit, the cooperative, the looks, because we know that we are men are visual. But the issue is that women know that there is a man, and I try not to lean too much far as there's somebody for everybody, but I just see Rasputia get married, so I know that there are somebody for somebody. But can you actually find that person that will take you serious and marry you? So this is kind of the pushback that I see with women, because they know that it's someone out there. It might be small, but they look at the minority, not the majority. When it comes to men having a standard. So, what you were saying, far as we know there's a standard for each man, and men definitely have kind of. We are all have this certain type. We want fit, feminine, and friendly. We want that. So that's what I wanted to say.
Okay, no, I appreciate that, Tom. No, I appreciate that, man. Did you want to say something, Hershey? You good, man?
I don't know. I'm just I'm at a loss. I mean,
so okay, so let me put it to you like this. I'm gonna flip it to you. Do you think these ladies really want to get married? Keep it a buck. From what you see, do you really think they want to get married out here?
I think deep down inside, most of them do. Okay. You know, as far as their nature, you know, of human beings, you know, to procreate, be with somebody. But I think like a lot of times, a lot of the trends, a lot of the changes in society and social media now, it's making it where it looks a little more attractive to just, or to stay single, or just play the field, or to just not commit to one person, not be tied down. And I think a lot of women, maybe some men too, we don't realize it, but like on the psychological level or on the psyche of it, is like people like self-sabotage. They do things, like subconsciously, just to kind of put themselves out of the rankings, you know what I'm saying? So they can't so they can't say nothing, so they can't be like, well, it didn't work out for me, or this and that they just use the excuse that, I'm just out here, I'm living my life, I'm doing what I got to do, and whatever. So, but I think deep down inside, I mean, most women do want to get married. They want to, I think a lot of them want to have that fantasy wedding type thing too, the whole walking down the aisle thing and everything, that nature. But they got, I mean, you got to play the part. You just can't, you can't get everything you want. Like I can't go play for the NBA right now. You know what I'm saying? If I would just eating donuts all day and not training, not practicing, and you know what I'm saying? You gotta do the work. You gotta do the work.
That's real. I saw you come off mute, Vince. You want to say something, man?
You know me. I don't think they want to get married.
Go ahead, man. Go ahead. Get it off your chest, Vince.
Because when I had these conversations, you know me, I cut deep.
Oh, I know.
I think it's mainly is that they're tired of being single. Because when they was at their finest and at their fitness, they wasn't talking about marriage. They was talking about going out and having a party. You don't just come to want to be married. I don't think. I think that's just something that's in you from the beginning. And I think they want to get married now because they're older and they need some help.
Oh, what if they tired of
wait a minute. Let me finish. They want a partner, and that is totally fine. But then they don't want to do what it takes to get the man that they want. They want somebody who gonna, deal with them being masculine, deal with them being bossy, deal with their kids. And that's a big thing, y'all. That situation got to be almost perfect for somebody to get with these kids. I mean, you got to understand. And then a lot of times, a lady will say, because I've had it. Oh, well, he don't have to deal with my kids. They got a daddy. And how old are they? 5 and 7. I'm like, well, if he's gonna be in the house, then he's gonna be helping take care of them kids too. And I have stepkids, so I'm speaking from experience. When me and Remy married, 16 and 21 now. They were 9 and 10, something like that. I don't remember. But then, I have grown kids, so my kids are gone. But it had to be a perfect situation. I came in and like, look, it ain't no difference. I'm their daddy. They got a daddy and I'm their daddy. And I tell people, if it's not that, because that's what most of these older relationships are breaking up for. Because you're going into these situations and you've built a life already without that person. And he's built a life without you. And then now you got to blend everything that you should have did when in marriage. Now you trying to put it back together. Her house, your house, her kids, your kids, her money, your money. You got to deal with the baby daddies. You got to deal with the baby mamas. You got to deal with their grandparents and their grandparents. It's a lot that you should come. And if it's not almost perfect, it's destined to fail. Especially for the type of man that y'all want. Y'all want these provider, protected type men, but they can't say nothing to your kids. You want these protected provider type men, but then he has to hear another man in his household. He has to take another man's opinion in his household. And same with the ladies. Y'all have to take another woman's opinion in their household. So I think we, just like I tell my younger kids, if y'all really want to get married, you should do it when you're younger. You should do it when you don't have no kids. You should do it when y'all able to build together, because once you start building your own life, it's hard. It's hard to tell somebody, no, we ain't doing this. And you got to follow. Well, I can do about it. I mean, tell me what to do. It's hard for a man to tell her son that she done raised your ass out there and rake them leaves. You can't be talking to my son like that. What you mean? I'm taking care of him. Bruh. And see, I talk real. See, I don't get all this fluff and all that. So my thing is, if you want that, then you got to really humble yourself and get on a plan and really understand that you asking for a lot and you should give a lot. And that's one thing, since my wife don't be on here a lot, that the one thing that the ladies must have is appreciation. That goes a long way when you talk about a man. When you appreciate him. My wife tell me almost weekly, you know, I love you, babe. I know these kids is a mother, and I love you for being a man that you are, and taking care of them and treating them like it ain't no way. He can't do this. You know what I'm saying? Y'all gotta appreciate these men. And he might be a garbage man. He don't make it $40 an hour, but that's the $40 you ain't got.
Wait, hold on.
I don't understand that either. It's like you had these income things, but I'm like, I don't care if he making, you gotta, and see, a lot of times nowadays when you're older, you gotta look at the total situation. Okay, you got a man making 150, but he got 6 kids and 2 of them is under 5. You're gonna be paying child support a long time, but you might have a guy who making 30, all his kids grown. It's a better situation. Stop looking, you gotta look at these situations nowadays. Can't be looking at just the dollar amount. You gotta be looking at, okay, he got siblings, he got a mama's all in his business, and then so we have to understand, we gotta come at this thing in reality. We gotta put everything on the table. We gotta put our bad credit on the table. We gotta put it on the table and work together. Find somebody that's gonna work with you. Because, I got 2 kids, you got 2 kids, we got 2 kids together. It's 6 of us, and they all the same.
Right. So let me circle back, Vince, because I just caught something that just happened. So you mentioned that garbage man making that $40 an hour, and Nicole and Nakia made a little facial expression. Ladies, I need y'all to
talk about it. Don't even no. That's my answer. No. Oh my God. No.
I saw both of y'all face.
Whatever you said, no.
So what's wrong with the brother making the $40 an hour and being an average man? I saw both of y'all face. What
no, I got it. You got it, Nicole. I got it.
I got it. I mean, I make the 40, so I need a little bit more in my case. So
wow.
You can't make this shit up.
Okay, now let's get to it.
Let's get into it.
We got to
Nicole been stalling. Let's get into it. Let's get into it. Come on.
Look
Come
here.
on, Nicole. Get it off your chest.
I did. I said I'll make the 40, so I did a little more. I said it. So
but I mean, okay. But do y'all realize? Well, no, I'm just saying. Let's add a conversation. I saw y'all face.
Yeah, I got you.
Do y'all realize that y'all could be passing up on y'all, man? Like this could be y'all guy. Like, do y'all realize that when y'all talking about this money? Because
why can't you make 45? You ain't gotta make that much more than me.
Boy, ain't no way, boy. Boy, ain't no way, boy.
Oh my God.
Wow, come on back, man.
Life is real. Come on now. Can we talk about the economy? Let's talk about the economy. Come on now.
You know why he can't make 45? Because if he made 45, he had better options.
Oh, wow. That's it.
45 as a man, though, that's not a lot.
But I don't understand I don't even understand I don't care what it is. It's adding to what you already got.
Yeah, I'm not looking down on it, but what's wrong with me having a little bit? What's wrong with me? There is nothing wrong with me desiring more. Come on now. Especially if he has a lifestyle. We can't make it on 40.
But you're not making it on 40. You're making it on 85 because you're working too. Right?
If he got a lifestyle and I got a lifestyle, we're not making it on 85.
I don't understand that.
You don't understand.
How can you? If you're paying $1,500 of rent, you got a car note, you got some insurance, you got all that.
That's it right there. That's it right there.
But if somebody come with 40 and they can pay $500 of that $1,500, and you have a man there to rub your feet, to do all that, that's still $500 you ain't got, and you got a man.
I would say, like you said, you got to look at the situation. You got to look at the situation still. It ain't just we ain't just looking at the income. We got to look at the situation.
But you just looking at the income, though.
I'm looking at the income and the situation. What's wrong with you making a little bit more than me? That's the issue.
So I feel like the issue is that women don't understand money. A man that makes $45 an hour at 40 hours a week, 52 weeks in a year is $92,000. Ain't that many men make $92,000? So you think you can acquire a man that make $92,000?
Depending on the state,
and he can get a younger, prettier version of you. So why would he want an older woman with relationship trauma and baggage when he can pick somebody that's young that he can mold and make to be a wife? Like y'all be having this problem with this money.
The perspective of the man, though. I don't.
Maybe that's what the problem is. The problem is that y'all don't understand how much money is and how much it takes for a man to earn that type of money. A woman can go out there and do all type of stuff that a man can't do to make $92,000 a year. You know that's above average. The average man makes $52,000. The average black man makes less than $50,000 a year. So you think you gonna acquire a man that makes double that? That's a delusion that the black woman has. And y'all need to stop that.
I personally don't think it's a delusion because I know those men, so I don't.
Well then why you not married then if you know those men? Why you not married to them? Because they right there your vicinity. You should be able to just snatch them up.
Well, if we're talking about me specifically, I mean my life is a little different. My priorities are different. I'm not saying marriage isn't a desire, but I desire my life to be in a certain place before that be my full pursuit. So, I mean, I would say my life is set up a little different and my priorities are different. But it's not.
Well, I'm not directing it towards you. I'm directing it towards women that think like.
Talk about me, yeah. I'm about to say.
No, it's not. No, I'm not directing it towards you. It's a majority of women, and definitely black women in particular in the community that think like this, knowing that black women most other races are race related, so they don't. It's a white man, a Mexican man, and a Italian man, an Asian man not running the black women. So we have to worry about what's going on with the black man, and we know for sure black men on average makes a certain amount of money. It be men that's making them $100,000, $90,000 a year. Your men are exceptional. That's an exceptional man in the black community.
I get that. I wanted to respond to that comment. The person said, "Oh, so I'm living above my means because I want to make to compensate." No, to be specific, I afford my own life. So let's get that correct. I don't want anybody to compensate for my life. My life is set out a specific way. So I'm not asking for a man to compensate for anything. I'm not asking nobody to compensate for anything.
Can I say something right quick? Let's take it away from you. Let's speak in general because I understand that. But I hear a lot of women just had a conversation with her that she's 51 years old talking about she gonna wait. I say you gonna wait till what? You're 60? You gonna have better results when you're 60?
No, I get that. Again, situation different.
And see, that's why I say you don't want
it.
And that's why I say you don't want to get married. Because a man will go out there and find, if he want to get married, if he wants some kids, he gonna find the best option out there. I don't care if she, whatever it is, he gonna find her, he gonna have some kids with her, and he gonna go on up the road. He ain't saying, well, I'm gonna wait until she got a body like Beyonce. Because he know he ain't gonna get that. Because he don't qualify for it. See, men understand that because we are not lied to. Ain't nobody telling me I'm 6'4". I'm 5'7". Ain't nobody telling me I got a head full of hair and I'm bald headed. See, that's because men, they don't lie to men. They tell men, you better get yourself together, you better get your money up. That's how you gonna get what you want. That's how you gonna get the pretty girl. You don't see pretty girls with ugly broke men in general. Unless
always in general.
7 foot and we ain't 7 foot. So I understand. That's why I say women don't want to get married because they got all these instead of saying, you know what, at this stage in my life, if I can just get a breathing man who got a decent income that's going to accept me and my age and my kids and my situation, I will be lucky to have a man. But y'all don't think that way. Y'all, I got to settle for him because he making $20 an hour as a guy at the hospital. But you don't understand that man making $20 might be the best thing for your children.
For
that
sure.
man making $20 is gonna rub your feet when you get cancer at 51 and your hair is bald.
Yes, for that perspective of situation, no, absolutely. I would say I agree with you.
That's what
they
I'm
should
saying.
be grateful.
We got to get away from this whole way because my thing is it's the situation because you're looking at this and that, but a man, those type of, and then I always tell women this: smart men get married early. They not waiting till they 40 and 45 to get married. Smart men get married right after college, and because they want kids, they want a wife, they want legacy, and they understand if I want all that, I need to get it young.
But also being married, though, I think for men and women also take a plan. So it's not just, oh, I want to get married and I just do it. Like it does take a plan. Like let's look more into what is the family structure of the person. They was probably already planning for that. It's not just I'm gonna just do it young just cause. It's a plan involved on both sids.
Exactly. That's why I say you don't want to get married. You want to get married now because you know you're older.
Hold on,
you know you ain't really got the savings you need for that retirement. Because one person, the average person, is not saving for retirement. You're gonna work for the rest of your life.
Let me go to Chloe.
Chloe really want to say something. She's been like,
let me go to Chloe real quick.
I'm sorry.
No, you good. Go ahead, Chloe.
Well, I guess I'm just. I want to say this. Like, I wonder why we seem to be. I just gotta say this first and foremost. When we have these conversations, right? We don't know everyone's intricate details of their lives, right? And that's really not the point. We use all of these videos. We use all of this stuff as case studies. So we're using this just to kind of start the conversation, get this conversation going and kind of have the conversation because somebody somewhere can relate to something, right? So we have to kind of separate who we are on the panel from who we are in real life so that people are not getting offended in the comment section, that people are not getting offended on the panel because we're having conversations. If you choose to share something about yourself and we decide to use that as a case study, great. You know, if you don't feel comfortable, that's fine too. But just know it's not always about you personally. You don't have to share anything you're not comfortable with, so that we can have a conversation and people don't have to feel like it's an attack. Nobody, that's definitely not what we're trying to do here. That's not what we do on this particular platform. But also moving past that, I would say this. I think that as women, we do have to understand too that there's this saying, and I know you guys have heard it, and I may say it wrong, so you know you can correct me or do what you will with it. But it goes something like, "A bird in the hand is worth two in the bush." And I think that as women, we're sitting around with these unrealistic expectations, and we're going, I'm going to wait for my person, and I'm going to wait for this, and I'm going to wait for the perfect situation. I'm going to wait for my life to look like how it's supposed to look like. I'm going to wait for him to have exactly everything that I want him to have, when you may have someone in your vicinity that may not have all the things and may not be exactly what you want them to be. And maybe you are at a point in your life where you're like, dang, I kind of wanted to have this first, or I kind of wanted to be there first. But this person has presented themselves, and there's someone who is worthy of your time, and there's someone who's worthy of your attention, but you're stuck on it doesn't look the way that you want it to look. You're stuck on he doesn't have exactly the things that you thought he or she would have, and you're missing it. We seem to be one, and I don't know the intricate details of every culture, but for what I have seen on the outside looking in, we seem to be one of the only cultures that think that we have to have everything figured out before we can get in a serious relationship, before we can consider marriage. And we're broke as a culture. We don't have no money. We barely have a culture. But we're talking about, oh, well, if I'm 25, I haven't done anything. I haven't gone anywhere. I don't have anything. That's the best time to get with somebody. It's called building, people. You build the life that you want together. You build with a person. You got what you got. He has what he has. Y'all come together, and now you build the life that you want. And now you have it together. Now you're both invested in each other. It's going to be a lot harder now for him to just ride off into the sunset and leave you behind. And you too, it'll be harder for you to ride off in the sunset and leave him behind, because you guys have invested. You're invested in each other. You're invested in your lives. You built it together. This is not about you running off and feeling like you got to build a whole life by yourself. That's why you're tired, Black woman. That's why you're worn down, Black woman. That's why you are mentally, physically, and emotionally traumatized. You were not supposed to do it all by yourself. You were not. It doesn't mean you can't. It doesn't mean I'm saying you're not strong enough and all of those things that they tell you you are. But that doesn't mean you were supposed to do that. That doesn't mean that's what you should choose to do. We are making decisions that are putting us in these horrible situations. And then we're turning around and we're going, you know, we're convincing ourselves that this is what I want. I want to be 45 years old, single, with multiple baby daddies. I want this because, you know, I had to do things, and I had to get my life together, and we convince ourselves that this was the right way for us. This is what I wanted. No. This is how I wanted it to go. Instead of just being honest with ourselves and saying, yeah, I made a couple not so great decisions, and now I'm living in the consequences of what they look like. Guess what? That's okay. Rebound. Change it now. Change your mindset now. Make better decisions and choices now. You still have time. And start by being more realistic. And I just think I don't see enough of that. And I know there's men out here that are like that too, but I'm a woman, so I have to speak to women. I don't see us doing that enough, ladies. I see us still wanting to make excuses for our decisions and our choices, and we're just not moving forward. We're stuck, still trying to explain away why we're where we're at, knowing deep down that we're not happy with it. Why are we doing that to ourselves? This is why we can't move forward. Stop lying to yourselves. In 2024, stop lying to yourself. Stop. It's not helping you grow. It's stunting your growth. You are your own worst enemy. Stop. Change the behavior now while you're young and you have a chance to rebuild our land. I just needed to say that. I feel like maybe somebody can do something with that. Like, for real, y'all, it's okay to admit that you made a mistake. We all do. Now you regroup, fix it, and let's move forward so that at the end of 2024, we're not going into 2025 going, oh, my life isn't where I wanted it to be.
Yeah, and you know, to piggyback off what you said, Chloe, I think it really does just require some simple changes. Yep, the first thing that I see that is definitely destroying us right now is this money. It's always this money. It's always this money. It's always I'm chasing this bag. I got to get to this bag. I got to, like, this money is literally destroying us. Yeah, we've gotten to the point where we want to decide on who's the best partner for us or who's the best husband, wife for us based on some money. Yep, and that is so far off of essentially where we need to be. Yeah, thinking back to when we were younger, we was all broke. She ain't had no money, he ain't had no money. But somehow people was able to be broke, get married, and grow together. Starting out being broke.
Right.
Yeah, some folks was two grown folks living up in a little apartment somewhere, 1 bedroom, but they was making that thing work. He was dumping that trash. Yep, she was a secretary, and they made it work. His little 40, 50 something, her, her 30, 40 something, they made it work. But now we've gotten to the point where it's like, hey, this guy's not gonna cut it because he ain't making this amount, or this woman ain't gonna cut it because she ain't making this amount. And it's like we done put the stuff that's actually sustainable or tangible, we done put that stuff on the back burner. Yeah, we done put the character on the back burner. We done put the morals on the back burner. We done put the leadership qualities. We done put the nurturing qualities. We done put all that stuff on the back burner. And we got this money in the forefront. Yep, and that's backwards. Yep, and that's why, a lot of these situations never turn into anything successful. That's why a lot of these situations don't last. Yeah, money is just a tool. It's just a tool in the process. It shouldn't be the go-to. It shouldn't be the end goal. It's not the money. Now, if you two get together and generate some money together, that's a different story. Yeah, but that shouldn't be a major factor in who's going to be the right companion or the right complement for you. Yeah, that's not going to get you anywhere. Go ahead, Vince.
Then I think that if we over 35, if a man can take care of himself, I'm not saying get a man that can't take care of himself, but if a man can take care of himself, pay his own rent, have a car, this and that other, then why is he not good enough? Because at the end of the day, we got to stop dating like we 22, because we not 22. So if he's taking care of himself, because I don't know why we thinking now that somebody can be a housewife at 40 years old, 35, when we ain't having no more kids and you've been working all this time. We got to put it together now. We got to understand it's late in the game. And it is late in the game. I know people don't want to tell y'all it's late in the game, but it's late in the game. And you're going to have to pick something from what's left. Just like men going to have to pick something from what's left. It goes both ways now. I'm not saying just women. So we gonna have to understand that if you want somebody, just like y'all want to get married, then y'all gonna have to get married to that average guy. Because most of us are average, and our situations is unaverage. Because you think about it, if a man is 50 years old and he making $100,000. Why he can go get somebody 35 and start a whole new family over again. And that's just keeping it 100. I tell women, and they don't like that. I say your best years is between 23 and 27. That's when you can go a little younger, you can go a little higher, you can get a man on your level, you can get a man above your level. And a man's best years is when he got himself together. So whenever that he got himself together, then that's his best year.
Pretty much. That's about
Because
right.
when you ain't got yourself together, you ain't in your best years. I remember being 24 and losing out to them lawyers at Floods, and they was 32. And I had to eat that. See, we don't want to talk about that. We just want to talk about y'all was getting it at one time too. Now, y'all was passing them little young guys up. So I'm saying we just got to be realistic and understand our situation. And that's why I come on here too, because my situation, I told you I got 2 grown kids, and I married a woman that had 2 kids, 2 boys. And I got to play full daddy, not half daddy, full daddy. But the one thing I'm going to tell y'all ladies, the one thing that was so different about her is that she took accountability for the mistakes that she made on our second day. But look, I knew better, but they're here now, and I love them. And if I can find a man that's going to love me and love my kids, I'm going to appreciate him. And y'all don't know, I'm telling you, ladies, find a man that is character and you can appreciate, and he'll go out there and get another job for you if you want to make a little bit more money.
I knew he was going to say that. That's true.
No, that's real. That's real. You, Nicole, I see you don't went quiet. You want a rebuttal or you good?
I'm gonna speak for my twin.
Okay, Nakia, go ahead, Nakia. Go ahead.
I ain't got nothing to say. It's all love. I will say, I got a little something to say. I did get in trouble for bringing up the money one time when I was in a relationship, and even his mother said, you made him feel bad because you said, and so I've learned to not do that. My background a little noisy, but
I had a question, but I'm gonna reserve it.
Go ahead, Coley. I rest my case. Let's not talk about that money. They bring more to the table than that.
Yeah, I ain't gonna talk about that. I'm gonna just hide the money. I'm gonna hide the money. I'm gonna hide the money under the mattress.
See, I've heard Nicole talk to these men now.
Excuse me. Ain't nobody ask you.
So what you want to get off your chest, Nicole? Or you good? Hold on, Tommy dog. Hold on for a minute, man. You want to get off your chest, Nicole? Or you good?
No, I'm good. I get certain situations. I think for me, it's just certain things I won't mention. That's all.
Okay, we'll leave it at that. Tommy dog, you want to say something, man?
Yeah, I was gonna say, I try not to point the finger at men or women because we both have, as a race, men and women have issues. But I can say one thing that we both, as men and women, stopped doing was building from scratch. Because we living in this hookup culture where society is based on more of a sexual drive, sexually drove mentality than starting profession. Me and my wife was out eating one day, and it was me and her, and we looked across the restaurant, and we noticed something. But I noticed something, and I put it to her attention. And we started seeing people coming in. We started seeing groups of black women coming in, and we started seeing young and older white people coming in, coupled up and paired up. And this is, and we was at Chili's because my wife want to eat Chili's, and she want to eat the cheesesteak factory. But we see in society how you can see it. If you look, you go into a state where you start seeing it. You're seeing the women are about, black women are about themselves uncovered, and you're seeing other cultures coupled up. It's out there, you can see it. So I believe that we as a whole, a race, we know that if there are issues, it is issues on both ends. But I just wanted to throw that out there because us as we stopped building with each other a long time ago. We stopped starting when we just fresh out of college, starting out of high school, fresh out of high school. We stopped building. We stopped building with them. My high school sweetheart stuff. You don't see that much more in the black community. But I just want me to throw that out as well.
Okay, no, I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that. So let me go ahead and put the ladies back on front real quick. Then we're gonna get up out of here because I said I see folks locked in on this convo, but I'm not about to have.
It's your last one. I'm ready to go to bed now.
No, that's it. We're gonna get up out of here. We're gonna get up out of here. This is an honest question. Then we're gonna get on up out of here. I'm gonna take closing after this. Honest question to the ladies. Honest question to the ladies. Be honest. At your current age, are you truly willing to build with a man?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't like how you said that. See, hold on.
Somebody's gonna shake his head. Hold on,
you don't find that suspicious. 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 You don't.
Come on, Nakia. That didn't sound right. You want to clean that up? Go ahead. You can clean that up. Go ahead and clean that up, Nakia. That didn't sound right.
No, I really am. I'm always self-reflecting. And so I really own up to this mask. Like when I say I was that one coming through Michigan first with a firm handshake, and men still were attracted to me. But I can see myself with this strong walk and this rah thing, and I don't want that for myself. So I'm in the process of unlearning those things so that I can have what my heart truly desires. So at the age of 30 and with 4 kids, I still desire to have a husband. I will make those necessary changes. I am making those changes to have that. And therapy, so go ahead and throw therapy in there with it, But the point is, I'm willing and I am making those changes so that I can have what my heart desires. And that is to have a complete family and a husband. I haven't seen that, and with my family structure, I need that. And I'm willing to make those changes.
I appreciate that. Nicole, you want to respond to that? Because you keep making these faces. You want to respond to that, Nicole? Come on, unmute, Nicole. You know how to unmute. Come on.
What am I saying? What am I responding to?
Are you honest? Are you honestly willing to build with the man?
Yes.
Come on. Come on, Nicole. You letting me down on here. Come on.
What you mean lay you down?
That's giving cap right there. I don't know. That's giving cap.
I will say, Nicole and I we are twins, literally born on the same day. And we have 2 different lives. I have children, she doesn't. So Nicole is a perfect example of, a different woman's perspective on this, because we really do have 2 different lives. So we just want to hear your perspective, Cole. Maybe next Wednesday.
Yeah. You got me beat this week. In certain aspects, yes.
Okay, I got to put you on Front Street. Let me go to Hirsch. Hirsch, based on what you just heard from Nicole, does she sound like she's willing to deal with the man? Then we'll get out of here. Go ahead, Hirsch. What you hear, Hirsch?
How you gonna say that? Then we're gonna leave. Come on, that's not right.
I'm just saying. I need a man to tell me. Did he hear what I just heard?
I said certain aspects. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Yeah, Hirsch, it sounds like one foot in, 1 foot out. I don't know. I could be wrong. I could be right. I don't know. But that's the side of me. That's most people in this day and age now. Society, we want to test the waters, but we don't want to jump in, or we don't want to just take the risks, or we don't want to just commit. Like I said earlier, we don't want to commit. We don't want to just full blown say, like Vince said earlier, like we just from the rip, you want to be married. You know what I'm saying? It's not like a day where you're just gonna a light bulb's just gonna come on and be like, oh yeah, I think I'll get married now. I mean, you either want to do it or you don't. And and you know that way before you finish high school. You know what you want to do. You know what you want. You know, like me, I've always been like, I've never been like the playing type of dude. Like I always wanted like one woman. Like, you know, that's what I was brought up on. So I know that since I was a kid. You know what I'm saying? And so it hasn't changed. I'm 45 now, and it hasn't changed. You know, I mean, I did what Vince said too. I was 24 when I got married. So I tried to do that. I tried to do that whole thing. Like I was like, let me build, let me jump in, let me do this, you know, to try to have the kids and this and all that and everything. Didn't really go out, work out that way. And other things happen. But you know, that's the strategy. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm not gonna put anybody on the panel on blast, you know, but yeah, I don't know. The two ladies' responses were a little kind of
that was a little unsure.
Didn't sound secure. Didn't sound secure.
Oh goodness!
Like it didn't sound really. It was like, yeah.
I said certain aspects. It's not me testing the waters. Yes, I want to be married. I think I voiced that clearly. I hope, but I think any relationship, any marriage is going. It will take some form of of sacrifice and compromise. So I'm not in disagreement of that. Am I a little opinionated on what I would want to compromise on? Yes. Will that change with time? Maybe. Most likely.
Okay. No, we know we got to mess with you about that.
Yeah, but there's no question about like wanting to be married and understanding that it takes work and sacrifice. I get that.
All right, that's all we want to hear. Go ahead, Joe.
Is it reasonable for Nicole? Like,
uh-oh.
I mean, no. I think what she wants to say no, and I personally, I think that's like if I was like say maybe 50s or my 50s, it wouldn't be unreasonable for her to expect the man to be at a certain level, but to build with someone who theoretically would be older than her, it makes sense that she would want him to be at a certain level in life, not as if he was in his 20s, right? Taking some guy who just got out of prison. That doesn't make any sense. So for whatever reason, I don't know why I know why she hesitated to just say yes. You know, I don't, you know, there's a certain expectation I have. I don't think her expectation would be unreasonable. I'm not her, I'm just guessing. But yeah, for her age and for a man who I usually typically older than her, as is the case for most, you know, male-female relationships, that man would be established to a certain degree. He would already have a career. I can't imagine if I was her in her shoes, I'm thinking, would I want to build with a man who's like 5 years, 10 years my senior, building with a man? Like that doesn't even sound right. To me, it don't sound right. So I think he kind of, I think she should just said, no, I'm not willing. You know, there is a cutoff point. Building that can take, man, a decade at least. It took me since I was 25, since I started taking my career seriously, almost a decade to find my stride. So if you're building with a man, you got to expect at least maybe up to a decade, at least, depending on the difficulty of the career he's trying to build, how far he's trying to climb up the ladder. For her age and what she's looking for, it doesn't make sense for her to be in the building stage as if she was like a 25-year-old or a 21-year-old who's coming out of college. That's very different. But that's just maybe I don't mean to be answering your question on your behalf, but I'm just thinking like, well, if I was her, how would I answer the question? That's the way I would, you know, answer it.
Okay, I feel that. Chloe, you muted. Go ahead. You got to unmute.
Okay, so I hear that, and that does make sense, but I guess it depends on the age, right? And you said this, like Joe, you said this, so perhaps I'm just expanding on it actually, but it would depend on the age. So at her age, like if she found someone closer to her age, he's still in his building phase, just like you said. Like it does take some time. So he would still be in that phase where he's building. Right? He might be seriously doing so, but he's still building. Like I think they said that most men don't really see like their peak potential to 40s, 50s. Is that the right range? So if that's the range, if she meets a man who's closer to her age, there's still going to be some building. that's going to take place. Now, unless she does want to go much older, right? And then in that case, then I totally agree. But if she's not trying to go much older, then she still has to be willing to want to be with that man while he's in that building phase, while he's still working to that pinnacle. And she would have to be willing to do that. And I think it's the mindset, right? Like that still has to be there, like the willingness to do that. And I don't think I actually believe that that's a better position to get with a person in that building phase, because like you men have pointed out so eloquently and graciously, that when a man gets to the point where he's at his pinnacle, he has a lot of options. And is she going to be not unical, but is that woman going to be his choice? Whereas a man who's in his building phase knows, okay, she's willing to build with me. Like she sees where I'm going. She sees the program. She's with the program, and she's willing to get on the program, and we're going to do this together. I think there's a different level of loyalty there. And I think there's a different investment that they both end up making, and a different appreciation that they'll have for each other, and that they'll have for the life that they then build together. So I think that it depends on what you're trying to do. I think there's a lot of women waiting at the finish line for a lot of these guys. And I'm going to be honest, I think that the women waiting at the finish line for the guy that's already put together, ready, and has built it all. I think that a lot of these women going to be, with the sad face. Yeah. Because when that man gets to the finish line, he's going to be like, well, I have to pick up the litter now, like, and I'm not going to choose you. You weren't with me when I was shooting in the gym. So I just feel like you taking a calculated risk. And we have seen this not work out for a lot of women who came before you. So you might want to consider that.
That's real. That's real. All right, man, we got to get up out of here, man. It's past 11. Let me take some clothes and then we're going to get on out of here. Let me go to Mondo. You still with us, man? We might have lost him. All right, let me go to...
I'm still here. I'm still here. Let's get it.
You want to say anything in the closing, man? We're going to get out of here.
Yeah, I always got something to say. I got a big mouth. I appreciate the platform, as I said last week. Chloe, I don't know who talked to you, but somebody talked to you. Continue to spread the message, because a lot of women need to understand that that the age plays a factor in finding a suitable mate. Because us as men, we understand that once I make my bag, I'm gonna get the youngest, beautiful one. I don't want that older woman that's already been through relationship trauma and baggage. I want the young girl that I can mold. And every man has his own. Every man has his own program. It's a man is the leader, so it's most relationships are structured around the man. The man is the provider, so most relationships are structured around the man. We don't ever want to discredit that a man has a lot to do with keeping the relationship grounded, because he is the head in most relationships, generally speaking. But I thank you guys for everything. I just want to say, Lord, I thank you for me having my wife, because I probably would be single for the rest of my life, dealing in the date market. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Jesus. I thank you, Lord.
Appreciate that, brother. Appreciate that.
There's no hope for me then, huh?
No, that's not what he's saying. Let me get this comment real quick, then I'm gonna come back. Shout out to Shannon Elizabeth in the building. She says some men don't want the relationship until it's late in life, refusing to acknowledge that most likely by that time people may have been married or have children. Sometimes men aren't ready until it's too late. Don't waste my years putting me in position that I'm not limited in dating. Men aren't obsessed with having the partnership with a woman anymore.
Yeah.
Okay. So there's some good points in there. Yeah, I got some questions though, but there's some good points in there though. Appreciate that though, Shannon. I got some questions though. I would have to debate that one with you for a minute. We got to get you on the panel with us one of these days. All right, let me keep going. I'm gonna get the ladies knocked out. Let me go to Chloe. Chloe, what you want to say in closing before we get out of here?
I'm gonna concede to the guys. I think I said a lot. All just that, I hope that what is said, like, that people are able to receive it, that you're able to receive it, to understand that these conversations, we have them for a reason, and that we're not here just for entertainment purposes. We want you to be entertained, but that's not why we do this literally week after week after week, and have been doing this for quite some time. So I hope that when we speak, you guys can receive it or are willing to receive it. And listen, if the message is not for you, it's not for you. I've heard it said before, and I'm going to mimic the same thing. We're not here for the 99. We're here for the one. So are you the
That's
one?
real. That's real. Appreciate that. Let me come down to Nicole. Nicole, what you want to say in closing before we get out of Nicole?
Great discussion, healthy discussion. I hope everybody got something out of it. In relation to the message, the question, are women worth marriage? Do they want to be married? I would say, for the most part, I would say yes. And I think, just overall, it does take some compromise and sacrifice. So.
That's real. Appreciate that. Let me go to my guy, Hirsch. Hirsch, what you want to say before we get out of here, man?
Yeah, I just want to say, everybody, just keep the faith. Let's I know Joe mentioned earlier about, like, things are said and done, and the writing's on the wall and that type of stuff. But I still feel that we can still go back to certain ways, that had morals, standards, or had it may not be a large population or a large majority, but it's still we can still do it. We can still show and go back to those ways that were fun and exciting, and just to get couples back together. You know what I'm saying, and get back in that mode. I just think we just got to continue to keep doing shows and podcasts and things like this to just keep it going. And I appreciate every single married person on this panel. Because that's like, you don't have to do this. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't have to. And it's like, so I commend all of y'all. I got mad respect for all of y'all, because people need it. People need it. And, it's like and it's good to hear from people that have been successful at it. You know what I'm saying? So that's what we need. That's how we got to grow. That's how our culture can grow and build, by just having strong, respectful, honorable people like y'all, taking the time out to do this, for people, helping people out. So everybody have a good evening. Appreciate
that, man. Appreciate that, brother. Let me go down to my guy, Vince. Vince, what you want to say before we get out of here, man?
Well, I just want to say I appreciate everybody on the panel. I appreciate honesty and transparency, even though we might not agree. I think we must be honest so we can get to the root of the problem. I still stand by my stance. Like I said the first time, I don't think people want to be married, because you hear some of the most negative things about marriage. People want, just like the young lady said, stop using this partnership word. You say you want a husband, say you want a wife, because that's what you want. You don't want a partner. First, it is a partnership in that, but you want a husband and a wife is totally different from a partner. That husband and wife is you. You are one. Partnership is 50-50.
Oh,
you own half of the business, I own half of the business. Husband, I own 100, you own 100. We are one. We are one flesh. It's not your flesh, my flesh, one flesh. So that's why I don't think people want to get married. I think people want to get married for the benefits, and once the benefits are not there, they get divorced. That's why we have so many people that are divorced. If they want to get married, then they should stay married if they're happy or if they're not happy. My grandparents was married for 50-something years. You think they was happy all the time? They was probably not happy for years. Even the great Michelle Obama, who y'all like to say she wasn't happy with Barack for 10 years. And he's a damn Harvard lawyer. Stayed in her marriage. Supported him as the president. Probably had to not work. I don't think we want marriage. We want partnership, and that's why it's not working. And I'm going to end on that one.
That's real. That's real.
And Nicole,
Let me go
I
ahead
hope
and
you come
bomb
back,
drop
sweetheart.
that.
I hope you come back. I love you. You and your birthday twin.
I'm crying.
No, this IT right here. She family, man. She'll be back. Like I said, Nicole been riding with us for a long time. She'll be back. She'll be back. Let me go to my guy Joe. Joe, you want to say anything before we get out of here, man?
I think myself and Vince share the same sentiment. You could argue it's pessimistic. I would say I'm hopefully optimistic, but I'm not naively so. Hirsch, you're much more optimistic than I am. I just, it's kind of like you see the writing on the wall, and it is what it is. And there's a possibility it can change, but I don't know. I'm a pretty logical person. I just look at what the trends are, what the numbers are, what I experience in my real life and through other people and what they tell me. And it's like, it's getting worse. That's the reality of it. But I don't dwell on it. I just observe it and I say, well, that's what it is now. Could it change? It could. We would have to make a hard Michigan U-turn to make that change. How many people want to take that? How many people want to take that risk in oncoming traffic? Not many. So it's easier to just go with the flow, go 100 miles an hour until you hit the crack, you crash into a brick wall. Sometimes that might just be what it takes, because the country is propped up with a lot of money, a lot of socialist programs and welfare. There's no reason for a woman to change. So until it gets to the point where she's forced to do so, hopefully not in an apocalyptic nature, but perhaps in a more realistic nature in which the government is not catering to their people. They're there as a way to create laws and make sure there's law and order. But to the scale that we have it now, where there's this big social net, this big safety net for women in which they don't need a man, then they would never find a reason to justify getting married like they did in days past. So that's all I want to say for right now. Oh, by the way, for some reason, the last 2 times I came, I keep saying price and price. So either you two are married or you two are brothers and sisters, or you're related in some way.
No, that's my wife.
Got it. I don't know why I kept looking like I'm going to ask him one day. I just keep slipping my mind. I said, what is going on? That's interesting. You're a very blessed man.
No, appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. I definitely am. Appreciate
boy,
it.
You very blessed. I thank you for acknowledging that. I see why Chloe got that mindset she do. Congratulations, my brother.
Appreciate it, man. Appreciate that, brothers. Appreciate that. You all set, Joe?
Yeah, does Chloe have a sister? Man, we can end on that.
Man, let me get us up out of here. Let me get us up out of here. Let me say this real quick. First of all, I said shout out to everybody on the panel. I said I appreciate you guys coming on and holding us down. I said this was a great conversation. Shout out to Chloe, Vince, Hirsch, to Mondo, Joe, Nicole, Nakia as well. I said I appreciate you guys holding me down for real. Let me just say this, and then we'll get out of here. All of this stuff can be fixed. Yep, all of this stuff can be fixed. But at the end of the day, we gotta want to fix it. Yeah, we can't be out here waiting on men to be masculine. We can't be out here waiting on women to be feminine. We got to go out here and handle our business. And if we go out here and handle our business and live in our natural positions, ladies, live in your natural feminine position. Men, live in your natural masculine position. All of these things will correct themselves. But right now, we are out of whack. We are out of balance. Man, something that simple. Balance. Yeah, we are out of balance. Yep, and that is what is holding us up from being able to get ourselves together and come together as women and men, joining into relationships, getting to the point of marriage, and getting families going and doing what we do and living a happy life. Yep, that's what's at the root of that problem. We are out of balance. Yep, so all of this stuff can be fixed. But yeah, we got to let the finger pointing go. We got to get all our feelings. Yeah, we got to stop getting so easily triggered about everything. At the end of the day, we know what we got to do. But we just got to actually go put the effort in. It's really that simple. So, man, I'm going to leave it at that, man. But shout out to everybody in the comments. I can't run through all the names, but you know who you are. Shout out to everybody in the comments, dropping comments, man. Like I said, this is Kandid Konvos. We do this show every Wednesday night, 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. We go live on YouTube and Facebook, so definitely like, share, and subscribe. Do me a favor, if you haven't already, hit that like button for us. Hit that like button. Likes are free. Man, if you feel so inclined, hit that share button as well. Like I said, we want to get this content to as many of our people as possible. Let me say this and we out of here. Man, like I said, we run from no conversation, no conversation. We run from no topics. Yeah, we come here to handle some biz. We come here to bring all of these like-minded people from all of these different backgrounds, different experience levels, different ages, different creeds, different upbringings, you name it. And we try to put it together all on this panel and have a conversation that's going to benefit all of us. Yep, that is why we're here. We want to change our trajectory as a people. So, man, shout out to y'all. Shout out to y'all for holding down the platform with me, just showing love, and I appreciate it, man. But like I said, we'll be back here next Wednesday, man. And with that being said, everybody have an awesome night. We'll catch you guys next Wednesday.